Disclaimer, we'd like to note before the start of this interview that the opinions about to be expressed by the guest on tonight's Gettin Salty Experience podcast are that of the guest and do not directly or necessarily reflect the views of the host of the Gettin Salty Experience podcast.
Put the fucking fire out!
You're listening to the Gettin Salty Experience podcast.
Hello, and we are back. Welcome back to the Gettin Salty Experience podcast. It's the only one that brings the Firehouse kitchen table to you. We got a real kitchen table guy tonight, bro. Real, salt of the earth, good dude tonight. We got coming on, bro. You know what I'm saying, Roof? You still there, Roof? What? Seems like we haven't been here for a while, bro. You know what I mean? Seems like we haven't been back here. Oh, we're back. Yeah, I don't understand. What's the?
That's the handy talk. When it used to run out of battery.
Oh, really? That's how you.
It's kind of like if you leave an L off the Marshal. You know what I mean?
Oh, what dick would do that, bro? What?
You think a chief who took all those tests would know? I mean, come on. What are you talking about?
He's actually out there commanding people, and he don't know how to spell Marshal, bro.
Well, you yelled at him earlier in the day.
I had him rattled. I rattled him today.
Who the fuck are we talking about?
I think we're talking about the guy who, like, we've had Mike's pictures maybe for about 2 months, and today at about 3
2 months. Your ass 2 months.
When Mike comes in, we'll ask him when the pictures came.
It was about a month and a half.
It had to be about a month and a half. Found at 3 o'clock. I'm sitting, maybe late. I'm eating dinner.
No, it was fucking.
I can't find the pictures. Did he send the pictures?
6 o'clock, I think it was. 6 o'clock. Well, you know what? I came
Kirk,
through.
His hair's a little messy. He's all disheveled.
What?
Sometimes you got to do what, Roof? You got to tighten the bolts. You got to tighten the bolts. I told him.
Even the Chiefs loosened the bolts up. I guess I don't know.
I don't know what he's doing.
I still don't know who he's talking about.
You know what I mean? When you're constantly looking at the overtime openings and you're not paying attention to the show.
Is there a FEMA deployment somewhere?
Yeah. Wait. Yeah.
wait. That deserves one of my new ones.
He ain't lying.
That's a new one?
He ain't lying. I actually got the real voice done instead of us doing it all the time. So,
all right. So everything's set now for the show. We don't have to get.
Who the fuck knows? Something. I'll make something work. I improvise, adapt, and overcome. And that's our way we go.
You do. You got all the pictures. He didn't even have Mike's. I don't have his email address. What? I'm like, bro.
Well, if you sent something 2 months ago, I'm looking for something recent.
I sent it to you yesterday. I forwarded it to you.
Oh, yesterday. We had it 2 months ago, but you guys are hitting me up yesterday.
Well, it's better than 6 o'clock on the night before the show. You know
what? In the end, you son of a bitches. It's here. It's done. It's all good.
Good for you, Gons. Good for you, Gons.
Yeah.
Fucking A. Suck on my dick. Yeah. Nice.
All right.
Person, he's throwing the D word around. I mean,
I don't know who this guy is. You know what happens? You get away from the show for a couple of weeks, and he comes back like old loosey goosey. I don't know what's going on here.
I'm gonna have to tighten the bolts up.
Rough. Tighten the fucking bolts up, will you? Tighten them up.
Are you gonna be here for 11?
Hey, you're talking to my guy all wrong. It's the wrong tone. Do it again. I'll stab you in the face with a soldering iron.
Right.
Are you coming up for the 11th?
Shh.
I can't make this one.
He's not coming. You know who's coming is my man Jose. Jose's coming with Agnes.
Oh, I was going to say.
Yeah. And I don't know if Tank's coming up. I know somebody that's not coming up. I won't say his name.
Oh, man.
He might be a guy who didn't load pictures in tonight, but I don't know. It could be. All right, could you play the ad so we can get Mike on here because he left the seat? Maybe went to get.
Oh yeah, no, he's good. He's fine. All right, we're gonna go. We're coming at you hot with a nice new one, hot and nice and hot. Here we go. We're gonna run a photo kite.
Oh, the new. Nice.
Whoa. Nice. That's
All right, play the new Vince. We got the new Vince commercial, don't we?
No.
Oh no, we don't got that one.
No,
Again.
no.
Something happened with that too, right, Roof? I don't know.
We're still on vacation.
Somebody dropped the ball on that one again, so you have to listen to the same old Armor Tech commercial because
we're Armor Tough, but we'll
Armor Tech, whatever the fuck it is. I don't care. Play Vince's commercial, will you, so we can get Mike in here for crying out loud.
Yeah, Christ almighty.
Armor Tech, potato, whatever. Tomato, play it.
Here we go.
Armor Tough Firehouse flooring was recently installed in Station Number 7, the newest of the DeKalb County fire stations in Decatur, Georgia. Meeting Deputy Chief Smith of Support Services, Vince explained that Armor Tough interlocking flooring is the only floor that is tough enough to withstand the abuse of fire apparatus, along with fire personnel at a very busy station. Chief Smith explained, "The flooring in all of our stations over the years gave us multiple problems. We need a floor that can last as long as the walls and the roof. That's why we chose Armor Tough. The installation team came from New Jersey, and in 3 days, they had completed their work without any disruption to our daily operations. We were very impressed with not only the product, but with the workmanship as well. I highly recommend Armor Tough for your station's floor." Call Vince today for a no-obligation quote at 908-917-7697.
You know who else has come to the firehouse on 9/11? Darren Phillips. Yep.
Oh, he's a regular.
Yep. You know who's not coming? I won't say it. All right, come on, let's get him in. Rough.
All right.
My fellow Proby school mate.
I didn't know that.
We were there from the beginning in Proby school together. Probably hated me. I don't know. We'll find out.
We're going to find out here in a minute. He's over to check.
All right.
I can't even
Coming to the stage. FDNY Fire Marshal without the L, Mike O'Neill.
Mikey. Give me boy. I don't think you hated being Proby school, right?
Absolutely.
No. We liked each other.
Nobody hated anybody in that Proby's class. It was awesome.
Except for maybe Big Vinny and the other big guy.
Yeah, but I knew him since the 4th grade, bro. He's a year younger than me. I went to high school with him.
Who, Vinny O'Grady?
Yeah, I grew up, lived down the block from him. I grew up, we went to the same grammar school, same high school. He went to college. I went to the police department. And then in Proby school together. And then, if you remember the day before we got our assignments, they had the secret meeting in the room. Yeah. He comes running out of the room. He goes, "Bro, we're going to the same place." And I was like, "We're going to," and I won't say the company, but I thought it was going somewhere else. He goes, "No, 283. I'm like, "That's fucking great. Where is that?" So I had my guess. But then I drove to 283 that day, and through the neighborhood, which I had never been in before, and I got home to my parents' house, which I found out was 15 minutes away, which is interesting. And I said to my father, I go, "I never been to war, but what's with that? How can they have fires? There's no buildings left. They're all just crumbled. It looked like it was terrible." But,
looked like the end of the human race.
Yeah. Briefly biased with him. He went to 132 after the rotation right away. So.
Oh, he did.
He's been there ever since. Love the guy.
Still there.
Still a big presence.
A big dude. Football player, wasn't he?
Oh, football player. Yep. A rugby player with Xavier.
Thumb breaker.
Thumb breaker.
Well, Flabbersham, when he was a little rough for all of us.
All right, well, let's get patriotic before we go on and talk about Mike's career.
Here we go.
Do it.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Here is Richie Bagg saying, "There's my Proby."
It's not my bag, baby.
It's not my bag, baby. All right, Mike, so let's go back. We know your dad is what got you into the fire department, right? Where did your dad work? Where'd you grow up?
Yeah, I grew up in Marine Park. My dad was a fireman. I started in Garrettson Beach, then we got a house in Marine Park, like Beverly Hills back then, 4 of us in a bungalow in Garrettson Beach. It was a little tight. But, he was a fireman in 7 Engine. He got laid off. I think he was laid off for 6 months. He was a veteran, so they hired him back pretty quick. He ended up in 37 Engine briefly and switched with a guy, to come to Brooklyn. He ended up being a fireman in 234 for a long time. And then he transferred to 159 truck to be closer to home. We were all like, kind of in the commuting days as kids going to school. So he went there. He enjoyed, being close to home and stuff. And then he got promoted and he was lieutenant in 121 truck. Remember public school when Jimmy Williams passed away?
Yep.
Yes.
So that was an interesting thing. And then he ended up being a captain in 158. But the Jimmy Williams thing, I don't know if you remember the Jimmy Williams thing. So he dies. He was my father's boy, and that was late in our class. And my father tells me, doesn't ask me, doesn't whatever. He goes, "You're going with the company to this thing." I'm like, "Oh, all right, that's gonna go over well." So I went to Billy Burke. Remember Billy?
Yeah.
Lieutenant Burke? Yeah. So I go to him. He was nice. I was like, "Listen," he's asking me. He goes, "All right, I'll ask the chief upstairs."
Sacamano.
Yeah. So 2 hours later, he comes over. He goes, "Listen, the chief said you can't do it. Just come with us." I said, "Yeah, no problem." So I went to the payphone. Remember that payphone?
Yeah.
And I called him. He goes, "Oh, really?" I said, "All right." He hangs up. I knew right away. I'm like, "Here we go." So an hour later, Billy goes, "Okay, listen to me. You're gonna go up to see Sacramento. He's gonna scream his head off. Don't say a word," which for me is not easy. This guy ripped me apart because my father hated that guy for some strange reason. And he called somebody, and I ended up going with the company, and Sacramento didn't like it one bit. So,
Did he say he's going to step on your cock? That was his big word. His big
several
phrase.
times.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there like,
on your cock.
It wasn't like I was a kid out of high school. I was a cop for 6 years. This guy is screaming at me. I'm a little old guy. I'm like, "Not for nothing, bro. If I punch you in the face, no one's gonna care. I have to go back to the cops." He was just, I didn't like that. Nasty.
Just go back to the cops.
I didn't give a fuck. Whatever.
So was that you in that picture with your father? That's you pulled up?
Yes. Yes. That's me right there with the blonde hair.
Do you remember going to the firehouses when you were younger?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. I was in 234 more times than I can remember. What a place. What great bunch of guys. Chief Galvin was there. I remember him. I remember his kids. Jack Toomey also passed away. That was my father's best friend. He passed away in 87, I think it was. And that was a great place. We went to all the picnics and stuff. It was just a real good bunch of dudes.
Is your pop still around?
Yeah, he's in Florida.
Nice.
Actually, my Florida's probably watching right now, Caitlin. And I don't know if I'm not sure if he's savvy enough to watch it live, but I'm sure she'll get it from him in the backup.
Nice.
That's pretty cool.
Now you got a brother that's on too?
I do. He's a chief now. We did my father's last tour together as a captain. That was interesting too.
You worked with your dad on his last tour?
Yeah, so we made a deal. Like, my father was going to come to 159 truck and be the captain for the night. Did a free mutual for the guy. My brother worked at 159 at the time, and I did a free mutual for a guy. So I remember Chief Esposito. There's my brother. I remember Chief Esposito, Jimmy, telling us.
I know him.
Yeah, he tells me in the 15th. He goes, "Because you knew my father well. And my father, everybody liked my father. He was a nice guy, not like me." But he goes, "Mike, just do me a favor. Don't get hurt." Okay. So we go to the firehouse. My father's got all the friends from Garrison Beach Marine Park there. It's a good night, steaks, the whole bit. We watch The Sopranos. My brother, the cop, stops by, for a half hour, and he's gone for a half hour. We get the one and only run of the night. First new job on Clinton Road. It was my father was fast. He runs in the building. I'm like, "What the fuck?" I had the cam. My brother
Wow, that's freaking awesome.
So the job too.
Yeah, so I follow him to the back, and it's a room lit like I'm in now. And I said to him, I go, 32 years, huh? Where is in the front. So we go to the front.
Oh, shit.
The guy smashes the window, the fire lights up. It goes perfectly. No, couldn't have been any easier. Now we're overhauling. He thinks this is for real. He's like, "Oh, Michael, come over here. Just pull this steel in here." I go, "Hold on a minute. Hey, Brian, come here." Bro. Come here. See that hole? I think Dad wants it bigger. I'll be outside. I rescued a hamster, a pet hamster. That was my big claim for the. So it was one run. Went back. Unfortunately, one guy did actually get hurt. He got 3 quarters for that, but he fantastic guy. I'm kind of sorry his tour ended early with a nice night with us. But that was his last tour.
He went out with a bang.
Wow.
Nice.
Where does your brother? Where's your brother work?
He was lieutenant 165 truck for 10 years. He was a fireman.
Yeah. He comes to we see him at the show all the time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
He works with Gil Frank out in Long Island doing some teaching or something. So he's always around doing something.
I'm pretty sure that's him.
The chief needs a side job, right? But he just got promoted a little while back. He's covering the 15th, allegedly. He's been all over the place like everybody else.
Yeah.
But he loves it. And my father was a captain.
No, you could tell. I think if that's him, he loves the job, man. That guy, that kid, he loves the job.
Yeah, he definitely does.
So you got on PD first. Had you taken the fire department test or?
I took the test in 87, I think it was, or 88. The one with the guy died.
87. I took that test.
They stopped the test, and they bring us back for. It was a white course, a pink course. There was colored courses. They tell you not to eat, don't do anything. Just show up and hope you don't die. You know, they didn't mention don't do cocaine, but whatever. So I'm sitting on the course waiting to go next, and the clock breaks. So now it's an hour before they fix the clock. I haven't eaten. I didn't drink anything. The bottom line is I missed getting 100 by 4 seconds. So I didn't get called, which was fine because I'm not going to lie to you. Everybody who knows me knows this. I never wanted to be a fireman originally. Like my father came home burnt all the time. I'm like, what? Who does this? I'm talking about like 30 burns on his hand, skin grafts, burn center. I'm like, what the fuck? So I became a cop and I enjoyed it. And then finally, I was either going to get arrested or killed, one or the other. So I said, I took the next one, and obviously we're the second class off the list. We did all right. And I have no regrets, man. I ended up being a cop at the end, so it was nice. It all worked out.
Yeah,
nice
that's true. Actually, that's true.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, that was pretty
What?
good.
You got any cops
He's got a
stories
lot of them,
we could talk about?
Yeah, we can talk about all of them. Yeah, there's some funny ones in there that aren't going to get anybody arrested or killed, hopefully. Yeah, we had a good time in the 7. I started in the 2.5. I was there for a period of time where like we were rookies. You know, it's like having a bunch of probies together. So you're like a manpower deal. But me and this one guy, Steve Moriello, we were like into it. Like we were like cops and robbers deal. We locked up everybody, and I kept getting in trouble for arresting people because they didn't want us to arrest anybody. So I keep getting in trouble, like getting yelled at, whatever. But I'm making a ton of arrests. And if you know Mike Sheehan, you know he passed away, but the reporter, he worked upstairs in the homicide squad, and he was all over me. He's like, yo, I like the young guys. I was 21 years old. So the sergeant sends me and a guy who came over from transit to Queens to get an RMP, pick up on the shops. I was told very directly, this guy was like a veteran in transit, so he rolled over. He goes, I want you two to go to the shops, get the car, and bring it back. We have to go to the detail. Don't fucking do anything in between. So I tell this guy, Sean McGowan, great guy. I was like, Sean, this is, whatever. He's, no problem. We're driving over to Triborough Bridge, and his Liberty car is trying to fucking hit me. I'm like, what the fuck? And finally, he T-bones in front of me, so I jam on the brakes. The driver does fucking the 100-yard dash down the driveway, pointing. The guy's got a gun. Sure enough, I go to the cab. The guy's got a gun. All right, great. McGowan's like, oh, this is great, kid. I'm like, no, this is a fucking disaster. This guy's going to kill me. Like, I can't come back. So we go to the Triborough Bridge little precinct there. I call the 2.5. I get the good sergeant on the phone. He goes, oh, no problem, bring it in. I bring it in, go to the desk sergeant, who's a 70s guy, like fucking looks like Fred Flintstone. He's like, good for you, kid. Go in the back. So I go in the back. Guy's sitting there. I'm doing the paperwork. And this sergeant, his name is Rohan. I don't like him anyway, so it doesn't matter. Big guy. He looks like Batman. Like fucking big, tall, imposing guy. I'm fucking telling you, you're a fucking troublemaker, and no one's going to fucking know. I'm going crazy. And he leaves. The old-time sergeant comes in and goes, kid, I'm just going to tell you right now, that guy's a dick. He's been a dick his whole career. He doesn't want to do anything. So just keep doing what you're doing.
Is that the picture of the car that we had?
No, that's a 7-0 story.
That's a
Wait. He's got to get up. He's got to get up to Harlem. Not Harlem yet, bro.
Just one more thing about Harlem, right?
That's another car.
This guy Darcy, and he fucking hated me because I just caused problems. He was a nerd, house mouse, whatever you want to call him. So it comes down for assignments, right? And I knew my mother's friend was an inspector, and I knew him since I was a kid. And he's like, you're going to the 7-0. I said, okay. So I walk into this asshole's office. He goes, thank God I could finally get rid of you. Tomorrow you're going to the 3-2. Oh, I was like, okay, great, no problem. I went home. Now, obviously, they got a phone call. So I came in the morning with my hockey bag. I was never going to set foot in that place again. I knew it. I'm packing my shit. He calls me, O'Neil, get in here. I'm like, fuck, here we go. He's like, I don't know who you fucking cried to or what, a whole big fucking show. I'm like, are you fucking done? I said, the good news, Lou, is you'll never see me again because I'm not coming to Manhattan North ever again. Took my shit and went to the 7-0, and that was the end of that. Thank God. That was a fun experience.
Where is the 7-0 on what street?
It's on Lawrence Avenue, but it covers it's like a cutout where the precinct is, Ocean Parkway, but it covers Flatbush, like West Flatbush, like just Flatbush General, the 6-7. Right. But yeah, it goes from lower neighborhoods like Jewish, Russian, whatever, and then once you get north, it's a little more like a commercial. Church Avenue. No, it's like Church Avenue, like the big apartment buildings with a lot of people in them. It was not the greatest part of the precinct, but there was a lot of good people up there, but we never saw them. So yeah, the car stories. That's
pull up the car, bro.
It's coming.
It's coming. Yeah. Not that car.
Not that car.
That's
the cop car.
The cop car.
Oh, my bad. What
the hell are you doing?
Cars
Smoking
are blue and white.
I forgot we were on PD stories.
So,
you're that young baby face too, man.
I think it's 91. I had been there a little over a year. I was working with a guy just for the night, and there was a carjacking earlier in the night. A Hyundai. Imagine carjacking a Hyundai nowadays. But anyway, so the Forrest Gump that I am of the both jobs, we drive past this car. I wasn't driving. The guy, I said, that's the fucking car. He loops around. Now we were following the car for a while, and they ended up making a left on a dead. It's a full-on pursuit. He's driving like we're all driving like idiots. And they turned on a dead end. I'm like, oh, perfect. This is it. Stupid's good. So they get to the dead end. Now they back up, and I'm like, we're a good distance, but I'm like, at some point you have to stop going forward. So he decided he wanted to avoid hitting them. When I say avoid hitting him, avoid hitting his side of the car. I got my gun out and everything. We didn't wear seatbelts in the police car ever. So yeah, he swerves to my side, not on purpose. He might be a good guy, but hits the fuck. I mean, this thing got rocked. So the gun falls on the floor. Now I know that these guys were armed earlier in the tour, but they just bolted. One went that way, one went that way. So Mike went that way. We caught them. But after a week of medical leave, we came back and took a nice picture with the car. They weren't happy we ruined the car, but that's the way it goes.
So you said you have had to pull your weapon out? You have to...
Yeah. In the 7.0 comes out a lot. Harlem, too. It comes out a lot. People say, oh, I never pulled my gun. I don't know where you work, bro. Pulling it and shooting it are two different things. But yeah, it comes out a lot.
How about
walking around with it out? I've been walking around like this the whole day.
You have to let me off? You haven't squeezing me off?
So yeah, I was working with a guy. We were in anti-crime, plain clothes. It's pouring rain. I was going upstate that night. It's probably about 11:15. We're almost done. And robbery comes over in the junction. Everybody knows the junction is right, Flatbush and Nostrand. So it is fucking pouring rain. And we're driving, and I see the two guys. I said, Chuck, that's them. He turns the car, unmarked car, but yeah, unmarked my ass. Fucking screen police car. So the guy sees it. So one guy turns around, runs backwards, and the other guy runs into the alley. So I run after the guy in the alley. He gets over the fence before I get back there. So now he jumps over. He points a gun at me from the other side of the fence. So I take my gun out, shoot, and I fall in the water. So now Chuck comes running around. He's like, you shot him? I'm like, no, I'm not Chuck. Get that fucking guy. Meanwhile, the people responded to help us get into a car accident right in front of 157's quarters. They get pinned between the two poles, the cop cars. So now they're fucked. No one's coming. These guys are in the wind. Now I got to fill all this paperwork out. I didn't hit a thing except the ground.
These guys are in the
fucking
wind.
Horrible. They were in the wind. Gone.
So Mike,
car accident worked out. But,
so let me ask you a question, because this has come up not too often because we don't usually talk about the police stuff. But what would if you ask me? People always ask, how the hell are you running to burning buildings, right? And I always say, because I would never run and follow some guy into a dark alley after he has about 10 steps on me, and I don't know where the hell he is, right? Like, so, by the time you get to the corner and look down there, it's like...
Yeah, but the mentality... Remember, I got hired when I was 20 years old. And I told you guys before, I had gone to college to do radio. That was my dream or whatever. In the days of Imus, I never liked Howard Stern, but Imus, the old timers, I like that stuff, so I was going to do that. Obviously, back then, that's a 1 in a million shot. So I took the police test. I got hired. I always wanted to be a cop. I mean, I watched Hill Street Blues, and I was sold. I was like, this is awesome. They're perfect for this. I can talk, obviously. I can work it out. I end up talking myself, talking people into cuffs a lot more than having to use force on them. But it is a little, but it's very exciting. Like, fires are exciting. It's exciting, especially when you're young. You're out there running like crazy. I mean, if I had thought about how much I ran now and how to do it now, I'd forget it. I can't get up the stairs without something hurting. Horrible.
Never about running down a block after a guy, bro.
You ever get plantar fasciitis? I recommend it for everybody. Horrible.
My back was hurting when he said that he shot and he slipped in the water.
Full on cartoon slip. Up there, laying in the water. He's like, you shot him? I'm like, no, I'm not shot. I'm so
Did a Charlie Brown.
Yeah,
there's some other pictures in there, bro.
What else?
Some pictures of him as a cop. Let's get through them before.
Oh, we can bang those out quick. Those are quick stories. I remember them all.
You're muted, Gons.
There we go. This is okay. So the guy on my with the shotgun in his hand, which thankfully is unloaded, he's working with his partner, and they're what we consider to be old timers. They had about 5 years more than we did, but they got on like 84, 85. So they were like the seasoned guys. These guys never called for help for anything, right? So me and my partner are sitting up on Beverly Road with another radio car talking. Mike, the guy Mike with the shotgun, goes over the radio real quiet. We need a 1085, but it gives the address. They were eating in a restaurant next to a nail salon, and two jackasses go in there to rob the nail salon. And it's the full on, like, everybody on the floor, the whole bit. So some dude runs out the back and goes and gets the cops. So I'm looking at my partner. I'm like, if they're calling for help, this got to be good. I mean, we got to go. So we fly down there, and by the time we get down there, the guy with the shotgun, he hit a money box. He runs out the back door. So I cut down the block. I tried to hit him with the car, but I missed. I'm not going to lie to you. So he's got a shotgun in his hand and the box. If you see the clip in the picture on my belt, that's where the radio's supposed to go. We always carried it between our legs in the car. So I got out of the car, went to put it on the clip, dropped it right on the floor. No radio, hopping fences. I finally catch up to him. He kicks me in the face, knocks me off the fence, which thank God he didn't shoot me, but I guess that's a plus. I'm screaming. My partner, Joe, is running on the street. I'm yelling, this way. So they finally catch me in an apartment building. They bring him out. So they bring the nail salon owner around, little short guy. He Joe Pesci's this guy, like in My Cousin Vinny, like off his feet, lays him out. I'm like, fuck.
Did you collect $200?
No, he did not.
For that.
But the fact that like these two guys, like they didn't want the arrest. I'm like, they're like, no, you can have it. I'm like, okay, whatever. They were great. Those two guys were the best. They were such characters. That guy's a complete character.
Is he still around? That guy? He looks like a.
He's retired. He's a sergeant. He was a sergeant. He retired. He lives in Florida. He's a good dude. Partner lives in Breezy Point. I mean, two of the best dudes. They were so cool. Nothing bothered them. You know.
Dude, go back to that picture. He looks like Jack Nicholson.
Who, me or the other guy?
You.
Oh, me.
Nobody ever told you that?
No.
You don't look like him. You think?
No.
I was looking at the cash, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I didn't see anything else in that picture but the Scott-Ole over here.
Show the money. That was it.
You got another one, Gons? I think there was another one.
I do.
Right?
We have another one here.
Oh, yeah. All right. So that's my partner, Joe. Joe and I knew each other from the neighborhood. His father was the captain at 321 for a period of time. So Joe and I are driving down Flatbush Avenue. I'm driving. We're sitting at the light at Avenue D and Flatbush. It's dark. I look to my left, and I see this guy running across the street, and he starts pulling a gun up, and he puts it right in this old guy's face who just got his Chinese food. So Joe's idea was, he goes, well, put the lights on and turn the corner. I said, Joe, if I put the lights on, he's going to blow his head off. I think he doesn't even see us. He's so stupid. So we'll let him, we let him get away from him. Now we turn the corner. Now Joe is going to run. Now, I love Joe. He's one of my best friends. I still talk to him to this day. He actually still does exactly the same. But Joe's not a runner. Okay? So Joe's running after this guy, young guy. I'm on the radio giving where we're going. Like, I'm laughing. They heard me laughing on the radio. I'm like, I felt so bad, but it's the truth. So finally, I knew Joe didn't have it in him, and I had no patience. I wasn't getting out and running. So I hit him with the car, tossed him over the fence. And that was all his complaint. That's all he cared about. He's like, he kept telling my lieutenant, yo, he hit me with the car. He's like, you hit him with the car? I'm like, yeah, I hit him with the car. Why do you think Joe can run? Of course I hit him with the car. He's like, I
ain't catching him, bro.
So the guy who got robbed, Izo Kasimovich, this old guy, we went back to him to get the statement and everything. The guy was hugging us. He was like a Ukrainian immigrant or something, older guy. All he was doing was getting his Chinese food, and this motherfucker's trying to rob him. And the kid, like, he's a kid. He turned okay. It was the gun's fake. That's not a real gun. But Izo didn't know that, neither way. So he's lucky to get shot. But yeah, it worked out. It worked out for the kid too.
I pulled him over the fence with the car. Beautiful.
I launched over the fence with the car. Yes. I wasn't. I was like running. I was driving.
Hell no, man.
I would have liked to do that maybe for like a couple of weeks. Just talk to people.
It's got to be. It sounds like fun, bro. I mean,
but it would have to be in the '80s. It couldn't be now.
It can't be now.
I'd have to go in the time machine with the fat Motorola.
Anybody on the job now, Mike? It's got to be way different.
What's that?
I said, anybody on the job now? It's got to be way different.
My brother just retired with 27 years, and he had a good career too. He ended up at the chief of patrol's office, which was really good. But he was an active cop in this. He was in the 7-7 as a cop. No, 6-3 as a cop, 7-7 as a sergeant, and the 6-0 as a lieutenant. All high-profile stuff, anti-crime stuff. He's got medals that have medals. He's good. But now he's retired, so he's
but
happy.
The job ain't the same now, right? You can't.
It's a little different. We work a lot with the cops, like with the NYPD, with the marshals. Like, it's a lot of interaction with the arson, explosion detectives and stuff, and even the regular, patrol cops. We deal with them all the time. They're all great guys and gals, but it is different for them. It's the body camera's done them a lot of good things. Actually, if you ever, I'm sure there's a YouTube channel for it or something. Go watch body cam for like an hour.
Shit's crazy. They actually had a TV show on Discovery, one of those things. That's just all they were showing with those body cams. Some great footage.
Yeah, body cams are great.
No doubt.
So,
all right. So when you get the call for the fire department, was there any hesitation? You think that you might not take it, or you would take it?
No. So I was at anti-crime, which is great. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a detective. I was working my way towards detective. That was the goal. And so I called. Remember Margie Prather?
Wait, yeah. Mike.
Investigator girl.
Mike, didn't you want to be a? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. But didn't you want to be an actor? Didn't you want to be an actor, a law and order guy, or something like that? Before we get to the fire story, let's slide that right in here. It's kind of a cop story.
A couple of different TV shows with this group. This is all rock guys. They come to the rock. They want the rig. They'll take a couple of guys. We were just background guys. We didn't do much.
Okay.
But
all right. So
everybody that I know shows were great.
You got the rescue makeup going.
I was going to say he's got the fucking.
Yeah, they did that to us. We didn't do it. Yeah, you know, well, Mike's got it on. He, come on, it's not.
All right, sorry. Go ahead. You sorry, we just totally railroaded your conversation.
Oh yeah, so I call Margie proud though, because I was a cop with Larry, her son, who became a fire. And I said to her, I was 628 on the list. 628. I call her. I go, so I'll be in like the January class, right? She goes, January? You just missed getting July, bro. So you're gonna be in like October. I'm like, fuck. Because we were in the championships at Yankee Stadium with the precinct, and I didn't really tell anybody, but my partner knew. But once you tell somebody, it's the end of it. So my inspector, Patty Brennan, God rest his soul, what a great man he was. He's at Yankee Stadium. We win the championship. I walk over the trophy. I go, Inspector, this is for you. We did, whatever. By the way, I'm leaving next week. He goes, I know. How the fuck does this guy know? That guy was great, man. I got a civilian complaint from Norman Siegel, the actual head of the ACLU, and I had gotten a lot of civilian complaints, but whatever. I walk into the precinct. He's in his office. He has a bro. He goes, Mike, come in here a second. Shut the door. I go, fuck. I knew what happened. I knew what he did. He goes, I can't fucking believe you got a civilian complaint from fucking Norman Siegel. That's fucking amazing. I was like, well, he didn't move. I asked him to move 3 times. I knew who he was, and then he got cross-checked. What are you going to do? The cop had a broken leg. He was going to run over him. Can't have that. So he took care of it. He squared it all the way. But that guy was the best. I got to work my anti-crime detail to the last day before I left. And the only way they fucked me was they made me buy a dark blue shirt for one day because I had the light blue shirts. But I bought the one shirt. I gave it to my brother. I said, there you go.
What did your dad tell you? Like, this is a no-brainer. You got to take the job, bro.
No, he didn't care. He knew I was like.
Oh, he didn't care.
No, he didn't.
So there was not even for a second. You're like, yeah, maybe I'll stay. He was.
No. I was gone. Like I said, I've been divorced. I felt, everything was not. It was okay, but it wasn't. It could be better. I said, it's got life-wise. So I made the right move. I have no regrets. We talk about the fire now. I mean, it's just so many. You meet on both jobs. When you're on both jobs, you meet so many good people. And are there assholes? Of course there are, but you ignore them. They're not coming to your house. They're not calling on the phone. But whatever. It's mostly good people, and everything's a team game. PD, you got your partner, or in an anti-crime team. Fire department speaks for itself. Everybody's a team. No one's an individual. So it's good. Well, there are.
Right. But we got hired actually as provisional firefighters.
That's right.
Yeah, yes. Because they were suing the city or something. The guys from Long Island were suing the
because it's 10 points.
Right.
Well, was it 5 or 10 then? Was
5 points for city residents. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so,
my father said once you're on, you'll be all right. At the very least, they'll just settle it and hire them too. I was like, all right. We had a good class. A lot of fun.
We did. We had some characters. We were talking about Vinny before, and I remember at graduation, bro. He had fake teeth because he was a boxer too, right?
Oh yeah,
false teeth.
Yeah.
So he used to take them out and fuck around all the time. So at graduation, he loses them. He's like, I can't find my teeth. I look down on my shoe, and his teeth are on my shoe. I'm like, I think these are teeth here, bro.
He was. Oh my God, he's a character. That whole class was characters, bro. Neil from Boston was like. I ended up living with Neil and 3 other guys from Boston.
Oh, he was living you in Staten Island, right?
Yeah, the one guy moved out, so he's like, "Oh, I got we got a room here," and I knew I hung out with all of them. I'm like, I cut my rent in half, and I get to live with 3 guys who I had an absolute ball with. It was like living in a firehouse. It was great, and I was on the rotation at 77, which is essentially down the block, so it was good.
Right. So who got you over to 283?
My father did. That was because we had so many Chiefs kids in that class. He wanted to put me in 234. That was the thing. That was his idea. I was all for it, and then he got boxed out. But they did find out about that, and I did take some heat for that. But it wasn't really it wasn't malicious. And if you look around my basement, I know you can't see all of it, but there's 283 shit everywhere. I mean, that's
right.
I see Yankee shit everywhere, but it's okay.
No, the Yankee shit's behind me.
I won't hold that against him, bro. I won't hold it against him.
Behind me at all times.
I won't hold it against you either. You see my shit behind me. Sorry. Sorry, fellas.
Who did anybody from our class go to 234?
Corcoran, Jimmy Pockets.
We had a lot of Chiefs sons in there, bro. A lot of Chiefs. We had Feehan's son in there.
Yeah, John was there. Yeah, John was there. Ielpi was there. His father was big in rescue too. We had. I mean. For Chief Sons, we had good guys.
Listen, 283 wasn't too shabby. You know what I mean?
No, we did all right. No, we definitely did all right. Single engine was nice. Although when I got there, 120 was in with us with the 4.4. And I didn't know any better because I got there. They were there already. I quickly found out that they really didn't get along. But
283 and 120?
Yeah. At the time. Yeah, well, there was. I liked all of them because Their character. I love characters. 120 had characters. They were great. They were characters. But
Right.
you know, I came to learn that when you're single, you don't want to get a forced marriage. That's what I got out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Nobody didn't. It was just a matter of like different. Like when they had the meal, we ate at like 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock or whatever. When we did it, it was like 8:30, 9 o'clock. That was apparently a big deal. I didn't really give a fuck. I'd be happy to eat. You know what I mean?
That's a big firehouse for just one engine there, right? I mean, and
yeah. My dad said when they built it, they had designs on putting. The squad was there, squad 4.
Yeah.
The ambulance was there, and then they were going to put a truck there, and then never happened because of budget cuts and everything else. So
Yeah.
it's not as big as you. Like, I'm sure you've been in there, but like when you go upstairs, it's a locker room, a division, and then just narrow.
right. Yeah.
The commute was a little tough. It was all right. I dealt with it.
Who was the captain? Some of the bosses there. Do you remember who was?
When I first got there, it was Charlie Williams. He was a Rescue 2 fireman. My dad was friendly. Garrett's a beach guy. Charlie was. He looked like Wilford Brimley in a much smaller version, but tough as nails, man. That guy was. He was a nice guy, real nice. Then we had Rocco Rinaldi came in after that. Rocco. That guy is 100 miles an hour all the time, except for the fire when he whispers.
Yeah.
Kitchen table, the Tasmanian devil, fire out 3 windows, 4. Everybody's like, "What? Are we going in here? What are we doing?"
Or if he's behind you when you get into an accident and you say, "Chief, I'm going to take care of that," and he says, "What are you talking about? I have no idea."
Yeah.
Why do we keep getting to that? Why does that keep coming up? I don't understand why that keeps coming up.
I didn't say anything about that you were driving. I didn't say anything. All I said was that we got into an accident. I didn't say anything about you.
It always comes up on the show, though, constantly.
I'll give you guys a minute. Figure it out.
All right.
But then we had so 9/11 happened, and like they promoted so many people. Rocco got promoted, and we got Jack Burke in there. Jack was there for I think over 20 years. Yeah, and then like when I got there, it was Gary Benedict. It was
Sarno had to be there, right?
Oh, Sarno, yeah, Sarno. No, Sarno was built with the building. He stayed there. He got there when the building got there.
I'm surprised he's not in the chat tonight, man. He usually is.
But you guys know him, right? So Bobby. Yeah. I don't know if he told you this, and I'm going to tell the secret because he's been busting my area. He's right in the middle. Oh, that's actually a good story. Hear this one? So this is my first job as a chauffeur. It was cold. That's why I had pants on. So it's at Rutland Plaza. Anybody familiar with the area knows where Rutland Plaza is? Nobody ever wants to go there for a fire. First job as a chauffeur. I'm driving like I stole it because if you don't drive fast over there, they fire you. So I get in there. I pull in. I'm like, oh, perfect. 174 cuts the gate. I pull in. I know there's a hydrant there. You know what's not in there? A standpipe hookup. I'm like, fuck. But somebody was coming out, so I grabbed the door, chopped it with the bag. I go in, I did the whole thing for the first floor. Everything went fine. There was actually a missing fireman at the time. Mayday the whole bit, and he walked right past me, and I grew up with him. I knew who he was. I'm like, yo, bro, they're looking for you. Oh, are they? Yeah. That's the side point. So Arnold comes out and goes, you hooked up to the first floor. Great job. I'm like, oh, couldn't have been nicer about it. Then I could fire to go. Just so you know, there's no standpipe up there. I had no fucking choice. Like I was stuttering for a bit there. Thank God somebody was evacuating. They wanted to jump. I'm like, don't shoot. The fireproof them. Don't jump. Please don't jump. It's going to land on me. It's not going to go well. But yeah, that was a bad fire too. They got their ass kicked in there. I was very happy to be a chauffeur for that one. Rutland Plaza nobody wanted to go there ever. Nobody prayed for a fire in Rutland Plaza. That's for sure.
Oh, there he is. I knew he'd be in there. Yes, I am. Oh,
Sarno. He just plugged in. Great.
My dad. I tell him he reminds me of my father for some reason. He talks like my father.
You don't really like the job that much.
No, he hates the job. No,
hates it, right?
Oh, he said it was a good job too. Sarno said it was a really good
job. That was yeah. I mean, there was I mean, the guy got lost. He got turned around. I mean, it worked out okay, but his boss wasn't too happy. Obviously, missing a guy for a bit.
Who were some of the guys when you first got there that you remember they were taking you under their wing?
So first guy I met was John Hughes. Right, John Hughes, was one of the senior guys there. Real soft-spoken guy, kind of talks. I ended up calling him the Duke because he walked like John Wayne, but like not in a bad way. Like that's just the way he was. Very, very even-keeled. The way he talked, carried the rag in his pocket. So then he tells me about this other guy, Flynn, John Flynn, and he's a funny guy. He was a cop. You'll get along with him, whatever. So he was out on vacation or whatever when I got there. So. But the other guys are telling me like Daryl Ladone, him and Flynn used to go out all the time. Daryl's like, he's got a big mouth, he's gonna break him up. I get all these descriptions of Flynn. So I come into work one day and I walk through the door and the house watch is dark. It's like, I got there like 3:30. So I go to put my keys in there. He goes, "Hey, how you doing, asshole?" I said, you ain't getting me, bro. I says, oh, you must be Flynn. He goes, how'd you know that? I said, they said you'd be on your back and you had a big mouth. I said, fucking great, bro. Great.
Right there, man. He probably didn't know what to do with himself.
He fucking loved it. That kitchen was tough, bro. For a single engine, change your tours, man. If the right guys were in that kitchen, you had to go in there. Like, you almost stopped the door. You're like, all right, I'm ready. Vinny, you can be, forget it. And just like a shooting gallery. Horrible. Well, horrible for the guys who were getting crushed, but.
Yeah. How was it for you being a cop for so many years and then coming in there? You know, that's always like a little.
Fine for me. I was not paid full vacation, but that they broke up. Thing. Oh, you fucking ass cops this, you fucking ass cops that. I'm like, bro, whatever, man. Don't hate the player, hate the game. You know. But it was funny because the cop time this, the cop time that, the pop time forget. I got crushed for all of it. So
all right, pop time too. Holy shit!
Yeah, so the battalion needs a name to go to probie school to teach. Right, has to be a first grade fireman. Well, guess who was a first grade fireman all of a sudden? This guy. They're like, oh, he's first grade. Send him. So Gil Frank was the chief in the 5.8. We played hockey together. He's like, yeah, nice try. He's got fucking 4 years on the job. You're not sending him. So yeah, that was fun. But I ended up going later on. But yeah, it was fun. But yeah, like John Flynn, John Hughes, Scott Calhoun. Scott Calhoun was the best because he never talked, ever. And when he uttered words, they were funny, sarcastic, and there was a needle attached to them. Like he was giving you a shot. The best line I ever heard, I didn't hear it personally, but it was quickly went around. Guy had transferred from a 323 to 283. Wanted to get him more work, whatever. So Scott doesn't talk. Scott just smokes his cigar, looks out the window. You know, nice guy, very funny guy too when he gets going. So the guy says to me, he goes, hey, where's a good place to study around here? Scott goes, 323. They said it was
323. That is a perfect thing, man.
Scott's the senior guy. Now, I mean, the Pulse never got above 40. I mean, it could be ripping out 2-3 windows. He come up there, never said a word, never yelled, nothing. Just went in there, put the fire out, put it down. That was it. And we find out, like, so, you know, no one's ever out on a meal back then. Like, you're eating what we're cooking. We all agree, you know, we agree. His wife has to tell us that he had celiac, which now is like everybody has it, you know, the gluten thing. He never said a word. He was just eating in pain. That's how he was. Well, like, we told him, like, if you're sick, dude, we'll make, you know, whatever. He didn't want to do it. He was like, wow,
dude. That's old school right there, man.
One of his sons is in 165 truck now. He worked with my brother briefly, but yeah, I mean, his wife's a sweetheart. The kids are great, and he's just a quiet guy, like, you know. But when he spoke, like I talk all the time. No one cares what I say. This guy, when he spoke, it was like, all right.
Everybody's like, E.F. Hutton, bro.
Hutton's talking. I know. Sorry, you 20-year-olds. Yeah, everybody listen to Scott. Yeah, Scott was good. He did the dinner dance MC stuff. The first time I'm like, he's doing this. This should be something. Oh my God! Let me tell you right now. If you want to go to the bathroom, he's going to take you apart. That's funny as hell. Holy cow.
And that was right up your alley too, like you said.
He's like fucking red buttons now all of a sudden.
Yeah, right. That was like right up your alley.
You're dating yourself now, O'Neill.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to make us old guys feel better.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
I don't know any new comics, okay? George Clooney. He's not new, he's dead. But yeah, Fire Department was fun. You know, again, like it was different places.
How long did it take you to get your first job? You remember?
Funny you should mention that. That's another great story. So yeah, so me and Kev, you remember Chris Childs, Kevin Bevilacqua, and Vinny. So the four of us go there. Right?
Oh, I know they all went there. Yeah.
Yeah. So everybody catches a job except this guy. So I come into work for the night tour. It's snowing. It wasn't crazy snow, but it was good snow. It got better, worse, whatever. John Flynn, remember him? The guy in his back, making fun of him. We're in the office. Gary Benedict's the boss. I forgot the other. Oh no, I did. Yeah, Supek's working. A few other. Yeah, whatever. So Flynn, famous words. Let's change our luck. Let's give the probie the nozzle. I said, all right, great. 2:00 in the morning, we get a run for a phone alarm on, I think on Dumont. I forgot exactly where it was. I was so terrified. It didn't matter. So we get there. It's one of those duplex down things, right?
Oh,
so
boy, yeah.
Yeah, I get to the back. I got the line. I go to step off, and somebody says, hold the line. Now, I didn't have a radio back then, you know, but you could hear it. So and then our control man says, no, bring the line. And the boss. We get to the front door. So now 120 is in the basement. This is a mattress fire at this point, right? But it's smoke everywhere. So 120 thinks, you know, we charge the line with the door. They're like, all right, there, you know, line's in, break the window, let's go. Nobody tells me, or I didn't know, I didn't see, whatever. There was stairs right inside the door, right? And I was looking this way to the first floor.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. So I go I go in on 2 knees, right? So as soon as my first knee goes, I go. I roll over. The nozzle's long gone. The helmet's long gone. 2 different directions. But all I remember from probie school, all I got out of it was, don't get stuck on the fucking stairs. All right, shoot to the bottom of the stairs. Gary Benedict comes down. He grabs me. I get the helmet back on. We're good. He goes, where's the nozzle? I go, huh? And here's the thing. It's up there. He goes, all right, no problem. So the other guy brings it down. As soon as he opens it, he crushes both of us. Helmets go flying again. I'm like, I'm in my first fire. I've fallen down the stairs, lost my helmet twice. Now, and that is fire because they broke the window thinking water was going to get down there. Silly them. The fire is literally freight treating over our heads. Now there's 3 of us trapped in the basement. Like, I have no radio. I can hear them on the radio saying, you're on boost, you're out of water. There's no water. Now there's 4 of us in the basement. And I'm sitting there like, I mean, he had his hand out like he was taking care of me. But in my head, I'm going, at what point do we leave? Like, we don't have water. There's a lot of fire. It's getting kind of hot. I'm like, the door's right there. Like, we got to go. I'm waiting. Gary won't leave. He's like, what? So it was 12 frozen hydrants. We weren't getting water. Finally, they're screaming. Our control man is on his stomach at the top of the stairs going, you have to get out of here. And I'm like, oh, I'm with him, bro. Let's go. So Eddie DeSantis goes in front of me, whatever. So Gary's behind. We all jump out into the snow on the stoop. Like, Eddie's coat's on fire. Everybody's smoking. I'm standing there. I'm like, all right, relatively one piece and not burnt, not hurt. The chief walks over to us and says, 283, go to the ambulance. Gary Benedict says to him, he goes, oh, no, chief, we're going back in. I go, going back in where? I'm like, no fucking way we going back in there. So I'm like, this is not happening. So they go back, they put the fire out. Now they're all bent out of sheet that somebody put the fire out. I'm like, yo, we lived, didn't we? I didn't know. So we go back to the firehouse. Now I'm quitting at this point. I'm going back to the cops. I'm done. Like, this is crazy. I'm not doing this. So all the hoses frozen. I'm trying to be the good probie. It's like 4 a.m. I'm setting it all up. I hit them in the office. They're all talking. I'm like, oh, fuck. So I knew, like, that's walking into the lion's den right now. So I said, all right. So I walk in. They stop talking. And I'm looking around. Flynn, Tupac, McGibbon, DeSanza, Gary. No one's talking. I look at them. So Flynn goes, you got any questions? I go, I only have one question. He's like, just one? I go, just one. Are they all like that? they're like, oh, no.
I'd rather chase the guy into the alley.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I just said it to them. I'm like, whatever. It's like 5 o'clock. I call my father. I'm like, yo, bro, what's up? I tell him the Reader's Digest version, that same story I just told you. He goes, what's the matter? I go, what's up? I'm done, bro. This is stupid. I told you this was stupid. You were stupid for doing it. I'm stupid for doing it. I'm going back to the cops. He goes, are you getting off in the morning? I said, yeah. He goes, pick up beers and stop by the house. All right. So me and my father sat there crushing a case of beer at 10 a.m. He told me to stay. I was like, but it's, it was a little overwhelming, to say the least.
Yeah, for your first job, bro.
30 seconds in, lost the helmet twice, trapped in the basement. We didn't have radio, so I didn't know any better. The guy and nobody like
fell down the stairs.
They took care of me, but I was like, "This is me."
It's pretty shitty. A mattress in the in that lower level. That's pretty shitty.
Listen, bro, you're not gonna make me feel bad. I felt stupid. So the good thing was, but I went to probie school. I went to teach probie school. I kept emphasizing to keep one leg up when they were doing the nozzle evolution, and I was trying to teach them how to do it. And I told every single one of them, every probie I ever taught at the lecture, I told them that story and why it happened that way. And it was a learning experience.
Kevin Malone in the chat said, "Can I hit it with the car?"
And this is what Sano said, that you guys were affectionately known as the crap of 1995.
That's correct. Yes. No, it gets better than that. So there was 4 of us. So like nobody wants to be number 1 and nobody wants to be number 4. So I fluctuated between 3 and 4 a lot. I was never 1. So it became like Coke, Pepsi, Snapple. I was Snapple. And there was no 4th drink. You were just 4th. No one cared. Everybody took a turn being 4th. But I was 4th a lot. I did some stupid stuff, but not crazy stupid stuff, but stupid enough to be 4th. It's hard to, like, Charles always number 1. He was like 22 years old, pretty hair and everything. He kept telling, he'd come into work and tell stories of his weekends. I'm like, fuck, I can't top that. But Vinny was good to have because Vinny floated 3-4 a lot too.
Oh, no doubt.
Especially when you thought you were getting fired or getting beat up by one of these guys, Vinny would do something and I'd be like, oh, here we go.
Plus, you want Vinny on your side in case you're going out somewhere,
Yeah.
Oh,
you had a little ruckus,
No,
Can you describe the ruckus? Like one of those things.
Yeah, there was it was a lot of fun. The first job was
Did you see that, Coob? It was like
man. Maybe I should not. Maybe I'll tell the story. No.
What happened?
What? What?
Oh, oh no, there's no story to tell. It's just
you had that look like I'm gonna say something, then you're like, oh no, maybe I won't say it.
No, believe me, I was forth a lot on my own doing. You know, those stories don't have to be told. They were corrected properly. Yeah, but it was a lot of fun with those guys, the four of us. Like Kevin Beverlock built a bunch of stuff in the firehouse, like all these wooden things to put plaques up that have been up there forever. Like Son will tell you, it's beautiful, you know. And that was a good bunch of dudes. I mean, they had the best showers I had ever seen in my life. You know, after a period of time. I mean, Tommy Goodhart, John Hughes, Bobo Johnson, John Flynn, and then we started getting to the once 9/11 hit, a lot of them retired. So I became a chauffeur. Jimmy Lang became a chauffeur. Jimmy Lang was Sono's chauffeur. I swear to God, like we used to joke they were dating. Sono loved him so much. Like he would anything. Like Jimmy couldn't do any wrong. Jimmy was the best guy. Whatever, had to be there. But no, Jimmy he's one of my best friends. He's good. He can drive it, that's for sure, and he can put a fire out too. He didn't fall down the stairs. He got burnt a lot, so I'll tell you that.
Yeah, that's why Sono liked him. So you went on the rotation. You went to what? What happened?
No, so rotation, you said?
Yeah. So where'd you go first? To a Staten Island truck?
No. So my father was in charge of the rotation. So my favorite number is 15, right? Munson's in the background. So I said, first I asked if there was a 70 engine because the 7.0. He said, yeah, it's on City Island. You're not going there. All right. So I said 15 is my favorite number. Sends me to 15 engine. It was a single engine at the time. Bro, it was an interesting experience. A lot of the guys were, when I say older, probably my age now, maybe a little younger, but like they were very, very, very quiet place, very good guys, but I tell you, bro, I'm like, do we ever get runs? Like, did it happen? That I took every detail there was.
Where were they? On what street?
They were on Henry Street. It's actually an old firehouse. It's still there. It's just that the city sold it. They moved them in 18. But I did get to see the city. So I took every detail there was. And that was good. Then I went to 77 truck, which was phenomenal.
Showcase.
Yeah, I had Patty Mahady, who was my captain. He was a 290, 103 guy back in the day. He was a character. He's about.
Is that the hot corner? 77?
No. 77 is on Broad Street. The Broad Street, the bully. Great house, great guys. Close to my house in Rosebank, which was good. So anytime they called, like you need something quick last minute, I was there. And believe it or not, I think I probably went to a dozen fires first due that year. And I realized one thing when that was over, besides the 77 was good guys. I never wanted to work in a truck again.
I knew you were going to say that.
It's way too much work. Like, you come in, you're a nozzle guy if you don't fall down the stairs. You go in, you put the fire out, you walk out you're like a champ. These guys are pulling seal. Fuck this. But it was good. Characters, bro. They were all good characters, man. I ended up framing out of that. Like, guy asked me to load a dumpster for $100. Me and Steve Siller. Steve said, I'm not doing it. Steve was in the engine. He had another gig. So I said, I'll do it. Load a dumpster for $100, no problem. I was done by 11 o'clock in the morning. So the guy's like, all right, here's your $100. I'm like, can I help you with anything here? Like, lift your wood or anything? That was it. Started, helping him out. I worked all the time with them. I started, obviously pushing lumber up to them. Then he showed me a few things. I learned enough to, when you get a house, do things. But not a bad guy in a bunch. They were very nice to the rotators. It was me. Steve was there. They got a couple of probies in the meantime. They were all good dudes. The bosses were phenomenal. Mahaney was the best. He was a character. Oh, my God.
Did you get guys like from Brooklyn who still wanted to stay on the job and were going to go to Staten Island? Like,
what's that?
Did you get guys who were like from Brooklyn, busy places, who decided to go out to Staten Island?
Yeah. That was 84 truck was that place. A lot of guys from good places in Brooklyn that lived out here still wanted to stay on the job and, just slow down a little bit with the number of runs. So 84 truck, when I was coming to Staten Island, it was obviously well known. A lot of Brooklyn guys were there. Like, it was cool. Like, they say, oh, come here. So when I came out to Staten Island, I wouldn't go there because it's on the highway. And I already experienced the Belt Parkway my entire 283 career. So I said, the highway, So I ended up 82 right down the block. So it was fine. But you run into them, Darryl Ladone ended up in 84 truck. He was a 283 guy originally. A few other guys from places. And that's good because they come out and they can show you stuff that you may not have gotten, just different perspective. You know what I mean?
Right. Staten Island seems like a whole different fire department sometimes, bro. Like it's
all local guys.
Yeah.
We all live here, with neighborhood guys. But listen, you heard the stories. Oh, they throw rocks at the windows. They carry batteries. Like, bro, listen to me. I was out here for 10 years. I saw plenty of fires to know that no one carries batteries and throws batteries at the fires. The problem out here is, and I never realized it until I got out here, was like, why'd you need a second alarm? Because
everybody's so far away, right?
So South Shore, right? I'm like Great Hills on the middle. To Tottenville, we're going as either extra truck or fast truck, depending on where it is. 12-minute ride, and I'm down Highland Boulevard, ripping it. 12 minutes. That's what I do it. Now once you hear, you understand it. You know what I mean?
So Coobs, did you know that the job? I was talking to Nikki when we were in Montauk. If it goes to all hands now, they send you an extra engine and truck, automatic.
Really?
No.
Yeah. So
you don't have to ask for it anymore.
You don't have to ask for it. It comes automatic now.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's good.
Yeah. So like he was saying that, like Mike is saying right now, like especially out there, those guys probably ask for extra engine and truck if the chief pulls
automatic.
up.
Automatic.
Yeah, it has to be automatic.
As soon as we hear, like, so if you're in Great Kills working and you're working, you know, and you're into it, like you're awake, whatever, you're paying attention. As soon as a phone alarm comes in with more than one phone call in Tottenville or Huguenot, you're on the rig and rolling because it cuts out the time. And a lot of young guys get sent out here and they are into it. They're into every aspect of it. You know, they'll drill. They're Buffy about it. Like they want to go.
Right.
Like let's go. It keeps you in, like, you know, when you're older or whatever. I remember when I first transferred here, I did 524s in a row with no runs. I'm like, oh, this is a mistake.
524s.
524s in a row. I'm like, holy shit, what am I doing? The truck didn't get that many runs because it's, you know, but that's a good thing. So when the truck goes out, you're either going to something.
You're going to something, right?
Car accidents, those are horrific out here. Or a job, you know, middle of the night, you're going to a job. Or a car accident. There's no gas leaks out here for some reason. I'm not sure why.
Did you go back there after you were marshal? I mean, we got to get into the marshal, but did you go back to the truck after you were marshal?
So we were in class during COVID. So I get promoted to marshal in February 29th, actually. And I'm friends with Tom Kane. He was a 77 fireman. He's the chief fire marshal. So we get promoted. We go to the class. I don't remember how long we were in the class, but like COVID was starting. Like, you know, guys would, you know, what if guy got COVID, whatever. So the job made a move. They sent us from Hooper Street, where the classroom was, to the Rock, which I was the only guy happy about it because I'm like, Hooper Street sucks. It's too tight. And the Rock's the Rock. So they sent us there because they want to spread us out, you know, not on top of each other. So the first day of the job decision to send us there because of COVID, we're there, Flips is there, Proby School's there, they're giving blood. It's packed. And this is when COVID's like, it's going to kill you if you smoke, and whatever, you know, we're all going to die. I look down one of the tunnels and I see all these people in the kitchen. I go, I don't think this is the plan.
Yeah.
But whatever. It worked out. Yeah. So we got sent. We did a few weeks, and then outside agencies weren't coming to teach us, and you kind of just going over the same stuff. So they made a decision, sent us back to the firehouses for. We were back for 6 months, and I chose to go to the battalion because the guys had already had my seat was filled. I didn't want to disrupt what they had going. So the only time I drove 82 truck was if they were out of chauffeurs altogether and no one would work. I drove Tommy Mooney. I don't know if anybody drove Tommy. Tommy was great. I saw who was driving him, and I figured Tommy, that guy, the engine was short, so that guy needed to go back downstairs. So I said, I'll drive you. We'll have a good time. And, yeah, it was good. We did that for 6 months. Then went back to the Marshals, and then we were able to.
When did you actually transfer them to Staten Island then?
2010. So I had taught at the Rock for a while, and back in 283. And my daughter had gotten sick while I was at the Rock briefly, and it was fine. It was a little more scared than anything else. But that was pretty much when I realized, I'm like, all right, listen to me. You know, you run around with your hair on fire as a cop. You go to a busy place as a fireman. Like, and now they're young, the kids. My kids are, I think, 8 and 6 or 8, whatever at the time. Now I can come out here. I can be close to home. You know, I'm able to, like, in 10 minutes, I'll be at the Little League game instead of having, you know, leave, whatever. So I made that decision as mostly a family decision, but it worked out. I mean, I'm down the block. Again, 10 years in a place where I end up meeting great people. Still friends with
literally work right down the block.
I'm less than a mile from my house, yeah.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
So how many years did you do in 283 then?
I was assigned there for 15 years.
Oh, shit.
I did the rotation, of course, and I did Proby School 3 years in and out, you know, doing whatever. I Proby Schools, my wife lost her job, so that was the only place to make overtime. But it was good. That was great.
15th, there was no overtime, man. Cool. Mm-hmm. Like, legitly.
Yeah.
No overtime. Like, guys had like 40 hours, 60 hours. Like, yeah. I'm not kidding. It would be like now it is over. You know, everybody laughs if you don't have 800,000 hours, probably.
Yeah.
But I remember guys like legitly, if you had over 60 hours, like you were like,
yeah, it was a lot.
You were redlined.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm not kidding. Yeah. And I was just thinking, just to touch base, Mike, before I don't want to forget about it because you know, it was important what you said about 77 truck. That was your second, you know, your rotation there. I mean, third rotation. Like, think about all those guys. Like, that's cool that the guys, because I don't think everybody had that experience where, you know, they had, you know, they still had other probies, right? Now you got it. You're not really, quote unquote, a probie. Forget about the fact that you were a cop before, right? But, you know, it was tough to be in a new place for the third time. And you know, you're still new and you want to do the right thing, but you're not a fucking probie anymore. You know what I mean?
Those guys treated us great. They like by that point, this is the second rotation. They already dealt with it once. And,
Right.
like myself and Steve Siller, and we were happy to do the last stop. I mean, we're both on Staten Island, so it's close enough to home. They're a busy place. They were but a really good bunch of guys. I mean, the senior guys would teach you stuff. So you want to tell this story? This is pretty fun.
Go ahead, bro. Yeah, tell the story on this one.
So
I don't think Ruffy was here when you told me that.
A lady knocks on the door, and she says, "Hey, do you guys want to do your practice on my car? The drill." So that guy, this is Randy. Yeah, I think it's Randy. This guy was new, Magnuson, good dude. So Willie Wright was the boss. I don't know if anyone knows Willie. Willie's the character. So Willie goes, "Yeah, sure." So we start with we'll force the door. It's an old Wagoneer, right? Well, we'll force the door. Then we'll force this door. Next thing you know, long story short, all 4 doors are in it. The roof's off it, and we're like, "Oh, great drill! Had a good time. Beautiful day."
Oh no!
About an hour later or so, maybe 2 hours later, I'm in
Knock
the house
on the door.
There it is. I'm like, "Hey, what's up, bro? What can I do for you?" He goes, "Yo, you guys fucked up my car." So, right into cop, I'm in trouble mode. No problem. Let me get you the boss. I go upstairs to Willie. I'm like, "Yo, Willie, this guy's downstairs. That's his car, and he's pissed." He goes, "Ah, no problem." So Willie's good, man. He went down there. You can drive this guy. Like, it has no registration on it or anything. And this lady said it was her. She showed him paperwork. So this is between those two. Like, this is between you and her, sir. It's a civil matter. See ya. I said to him, I go, that was impressive. Shut up, my car. I'm fucking pissed. That was good, man. Oh my, you weren't gluing it back together with you.
I had a couple of those.
Yeah. That was,
Did you go at random when you just come across them abandoned in the roadway? You just cut them up?
We did that to a couple of buildings, for God's sake.
Yeah, we did that to the one building on Grand Avenue. We cut the shit out of the roof, and we had to go back and fix it. I can't knock it on the door.
Overzealous, that's all it is.
Yeah.
Overzealous.
They treated us very good. Like, when we helped, we did a lot of stuff there too. They were building a weight room up there. They separated the bunkers, so we got. It was good. It was a very good experience, and
I thought the rotation was good, man. It made the job a lot smaller. You get to see, meet other guys from other boroughs, work in other boroughs. Sometimes you go to a place, you get complacent, you never friggin' leave there.
Yeah, true. No, it was good. It was the Manhattan commute wasn't bad. It was lower Manhattan. That wasn't terrible. Just a little bit slower than I would have liked it to be. But what are you gonna do?
So you did 15 there, and then you went back. You just said you were never gonna do work in the truck again.
Yeah, well, what happened was I put in for the engine, and I went and met the captain who I went to the police academy with. I know, you go meet the captain, whatever. It's all set. I'm talking to the chief of personnel at the time, who's a very good friend of mine. He calls me up. I'm in 283. He calls me up. He goes, "You can't go to 162." I go, "Chief, I have no medical leave." I'm like, I got 15 years? Yeah, 15 years. I was like, "Come on, man." He goes, "They have 24 people on the roster. You can go to one." He gave me every engine in the borough except 165. He said it's special guys. I was like, fuck. If you're going to come to Staten Island, like, why do I want to travel? I was like, well, what about 82? He goes, oh, they have 8 openings. I'm like, well, I'll send you new papers. I'll take care of it. I said, okay. And the captain of 82 was Jack Spillane, who was a 234 fireman. He was in the class before us. I knew him the whole time, so worked out perfect. So, yeah, fine. But, it was good because I had to walk. Here you are, right? You're 15 years on the job, busiest company in the city, blah, 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 blah. I walk into the kitchen. I taught half of them. And we played the game at the Rock. I'm teaching engines, the truck ball. You break truck balls, right? I'm not stupid. I go in. All right, listen, fellas. Everything I said about the truck was wrong. I
might have been talking out of my ass.
No, Dave Degnan made me do it. He hated it. I was just trying to put it. So now I grabbed these guys. They were all good guys. I said, all right, fellas, listen. All seriousness. I said, I need you guys to show me how you guys operate with certain. I know how to work fire. Just give me. You got to teach me how you guys do it. It's your company. They loved it. You could go. Some guys, like you said, come to Staten Island, and they walk around. They come to muscles, the T-shirt. They whip out the dirty helmet. I changed my front piece right away. I changed my patch right away. Like, I'm not that guy. But there are guys that come out there and they're that guy, and they don't like those guys. Like, you're like demeaning them. Like, who does that? Like, I know what I can do. They'll see what I can do. We're good, man. If you can do something, if I can show you something great, you can show me something even better. No one's above getting taught. Did
you wind up driving there at all? I guess just
Yeah, because what happened was, like, I swore when I drove 283, like 174 come right next to us. I'm like, I'm never driving that fucking thing. It's huge. Well, I kept getting cover and chauffeurs come in that like didn't know what. Staten Island's tough because it's not grids. It's like Maple Street, Holly Street. You know where the fuck you're going. These guys didn't know where they were going. They couldn't back it into the firehouse. I ended up telling Jack one day, I'm like, all right, listen, if you got a spot in chauffeur school, would you send me? Because I'm tired of covering guys coming here. Yeah, no problem. So that happened. I went to chauffeur school again, and they were good. That was great. And then shortly thereafter, like a couple of guys got hurt, ended up with the seat in no time. When a new captain came in, when Jack left, Barvels became the captain, and the seat opened up, and I got it. And I love driving it. The guys like when I drove. So I live here, so I know all the streets.
Right.
So it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Coops did
And
the same
I was
thing.
talking with a couple of young guys the other day, and they actually said that they wish I was still in the firehouse. I said that was nice.
That's a good compliment, bro.
Yeah, I liked it. They're good guys. They're all young guys, old guys. They're all, again, we're all locals. What I mean? We're all friends. You don't.
I mean, when you go there, though, there can't be too many guys that you worked with still there, are there?
Well, the younger guys, yeah. A couple.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of they're senior guys now. They were young guys when I was there.
Right.
I remember Vinny Mayer, who I taught in Proby School. He ended up being a marshal too. Vinny's one of the smartest. He's the one. Vinny's one of the smartest guys I ever worked with. And he was breaking my balls when I got there. He goes, "Oh, it goes by house time, bro." I was like, "So what do you want? Wash a dish or something for you? Like I'm mopping the floor? I have no problem with that." Like he's busting my balls the whole time, but he was good about it. And then I got him in the marshals. I'm like, "Oh, remember that time you talked about? Yeah, bottom of the barrel, bro." Now he's a lieutenant, so he got me.
All right, so you finally get to the marshals, right? And where you at? I mean, I don't even know nothing about the marshals, but how many? What do they have? How many officers?
There's two bases. There's Citywide South in Brooklyn and Citywide North. So Citywide South covers from 110th Street south in Manhattan, all of Brooklyn, and all of Staten Island. Citywide North covers north of 110th Street, all of Queens, and all of the Bronx. So whatever the assignments are, they get handed out in that way. Then those are the two bases. Then there's a K9 unit, there's a photo unit, and then the SIU, a special investigations unit, and it's headquarters. And there's not a lot of places to go once you get on the marshals. You go into a base like everybody else. You're gonna learn your job and go over a few things. It's a very interesting job. The school's a little, 6 months. 6 months is 6 months, bro. Like we're all firemen coming from the kitchen, and now we're doing 5 days a week listening to class. It's a little rough. But it's a lot of information, and if you were a cop before, there's an advantage, but you don't have to be a cop to get it. There's plenty of marshals that were never cops that are very good. I remember, so you got out of school after the whole truncation thing, you go to the base, and you don't know who you're meeting. I only knew 3 marshals before I got there. So I go to Citywide South, and I'll mention his name. I think he's watching. So this guy, Anthony Henry, he's a 10 engine, 10 truck guy. I think he was in the engine. He's like the office organizer, because you have to sit at certain desks just to sit out. You know what I mean? It's like he has it all worked out. Phone list, computer this, Excel program that. He's telling me, I'm like, I really appreciate all the stuff you're doing, but I don't know what programs you're doing. I don't know this stuff. I know computers are a little, but he had it all worked out. He sat there, and I ended up in his squad with Rich Bolzone as the boss, and he was pretty good as far as showing you what to do, making sure you're settled. And then once you do it and you figure it out, it's a lot of fun. It's interesting. It's different, especially after so many years of putting fires out or whatever. But it's a very interesting job. That's the closest I could ever become to being a detective, so it was good. And I ended up doing the last year and a half in SIU, which is full of very good guys who do a lot of in-depth work that I was able to learn from the 3 guys that were there when I got there. All very sharp investigators. So I enjoyed my time in the marshals very much. 2 great teams.
Any jobs that you had that were notable ones that were in the papers or?
So there was I won't mention the catering place, but there was I was out of the class about a month, and there was a fire in a very well-known catering place down in Brooklyn, like catering place deli, on Christmas Eve. Oh no, Christmas night. And the guy who set us up tells me, he goes, "You have vacation days. You can just take Christmas off. It's not like the firehouse." So I'm like, "No, I always work my holidays. I just want to work." So I end up working. There's 4 marshals in the basement, and all 4 of it, it's freezing cold. It's 3rd alarm, whatever. It's over. I'm just cold. Nobody knows what the fuck happened. Nobody can figure it out. So we end up taking the DVR. We go back to the base and wake up in the morning. We look at it, and sure enough, there's a guy who breaks in and lights the place on fire. So now it's my case. So when you're a base marshal and you get sent to SIU, the SIU investigator is going to enhance your case. He's going to get you video. You're going to go with him. So I got to do it very early on, and I went with 2 very, very good guys. And I just basically stood there and watched them in action for the first couple of days. Tried to contribute, then I realized I was way out of my league. These guys were good, man. So long story short, 9 months later, this guy is moving all around. We had him on video everywhere. He was in Pennsylvania, and one of the investigators had set something up because he was a sex offender that he had to re-register because he moved. Out of nowhere, this guy calls the other marshal's cell phone. So he pretends he's the investigator from sex offender, and it convinces him to come in the next day to re-register. He walked right in, locked him up, sat him down.
Bingo. Came to you.
That was a great case, and like I said, I had a lot of great help on it. And, great help. They did a lot of the work, and I learned how they did it. And at the end, it was all big teamwork thing. It was great. Really good case. That was a good one.
The guy from our class was in. Wasn't he a supervising fire marshal? The hell was his name?
Santandrea?
No.
Billy Raw.
Billy Raw.
Yes,
yeah.
he just.
I think he just retired, right? Yeah.
He did. Yeah. Billy was when I was in ceremonial. Billy was in headquarters all the time. Like they have a unit down there. He had done his time in the base or whatever, and then the chiefs changed, so they shuffled the people around. He ended up in Hooper Street for a little bit. Then he was in Citywide North. So yeah, he just retired. I guess he just decided. I think he lives pretty far out on the island.
Does he?
Yeah, I know he's married.
Oh yeah, he does because I saw him at a book signing one night. He lives way out there, like talking or something. Talking.
Yeah, one of those weird ones.
Yeah. Mike, you were a delegate, weren't you too? How long did you do that for?
I was a delegate in 82 truck.
How long did you do that? The whole time there?
Yeah, the whole time I was there, and then it was the trustee. I think I was on the UFA board for about 8 minutes. No, I think it was 3 months. I was filling in the spot when this trustee was running for something else, and then I got promoted, and the other guy took over. So yeah.
Was that Island trustee?
Yeah, because the Staten Island trustee at the time wanted to run for vice president. I think that was it. So he had to vacate the spot, and I just held it, like I said, for 2-3 months, and then I got promoted. And another guy took it, and then they had the election later on. So I really didn't have to. I did run for it years before because the trustee vacated it. So this other guy ran. I ran against him, and he ended up winning by 11 votes, which was like the closest. It's great to go like, yo, not for nothing. I know you lost, but that was the closest election in history. I'm like, I don't give a flying fuck. I lost.
Lost, bro.
To tell you the truth, bro, I'm probably one of the most competitive people in the world when it comes to sports. That was probably the best loss of my life. I made a lot of money. We ended up being very good friends. I actually spoke to him today. He did a fantastic job and took care of everything. I made the overtime. No, he's good.
Because if you're not first, you last, Ricky Bobby. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's right, bro. 11 votes. Well, I could have lost my 111.
Somebody said to ask you about your Superstorm Sandy rescue.
Yeah, somebody said you skipped right over your Hurricane Sandy.
Club Nelson, whoever Club Nelson is.
Club Nelson, that's the firehouse. Yeah, Sandy was like everybody was working that night, did the same thing we did, and just no matter where you were, and it's it is what it is. Vinny, I'll tell you the Vinny Mayer part of the story. Vinny Mayer was we were together, and I left to take a couple people away from the house. This is early on; it wasn't crazy yet, and he was in there for 6 hours by himself. We were trying to get to him. The engine tried to get to him with both. Everybody tried to get to where he was, and they couldn't. So at the end of the day, Vinny ended up coming up out of nowhere, like just walked up to the rig with he had blown up an air mattress with his mouth and put the old person on it, and he got some driftwood and some rope that he had rope with him. Literally brought it on the rig. The picture was in WNYF. So if you want to shorten that story, the fact that I thought he was going to punch me in the face. I left him in the house and I never got back to him. I tried. We all tried. It wasn't happening. But yeah, Vinny's more of the story as far as the.
That's thinking outside the box, an air mattress and some.
He is by far one of the. Not that everybody I worked with was smart. That was one of the smartest guys I worked with. 100%. Like it was way before that. Any chief walked in and said, "I want to do a drill on this." Vinny had it. I'm like, all right. Yeah, he's good. Very smart guy.
They're asking about Fire Marshal Gunderson. Gunderson or Gunderson? Am I saying that right?
Gunderson? Yeah. What about him?
Yeah. They just had the same people, Club Nelson, as they're asking you about him. So I don't know what it is.
Well, Gunderson is one of the guys that I worked with initially in SIU when I first had that first case, and it was him. They gave his name out, something, but he is one of the best guys I've ever seen interview any bad guys. Like the interview room, I'm terrible at the interview room because I want to get right to the chase. You know what I mean? Like these guys have developed techniques over the years that it's amazing. Yeah, he's phenomenal.
I have another one, Club something here. What is it? Ask him why he stayed out of service into the day tour during Sandy after this Medal Day performance.
Well, if you want to have the boss on and talk to him about it, go ahead. I put 5 trucks out of service.
Yeah. So.
What else? What other great questions we got out there?
Hold on a minute.
Somebody's asking about George Snyder, the acting fire marshal that recently passed away.
Yes. So. When we first got to the base, remember I told you that Henry was the nerdy guy with all the spreadsheets. So George had been on light duty. He had something wrong with his eye. I've met a lot of funny people and a lot of outgoing personalities. He is on the top 5, no doubt. Like just a really gregarious. Like so, he doesn't know any of it. We walk in. He has a list. He has to go over all our leave we have left. We got out in November, so we had use the days. Couldn't carry him over. One by one, he took us up there. We're all like fresh to this place. I don't care how much time you're on the job. You're new to this place. This guy, you don't know him. what a gentleman. Sat down, especially me. He's like, bro, you get 25 years on the job. You can take the holiday off. You can take whatever you want. And I said to him, I work my holidays. I'm good, whatever. He ended up being the boss that night for the catering thing. But funny guy, man. Like, he had a way about him, man. He just he could light up a room. He never came in a bad mood, ever. Never, ever, ever. He wrecked his car, went like by accident. Like obviously, car got totaled. He didn't give a shit. And let him keep it. I don't know how that happened, but
what if it was really hot, like a really hot day? Was he in a good mood then?
No, he didn't. George didn't catch it. George did
No?
not.
I know a certain guy who loses his shit when it's really hot and gets sweaty, man.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's not a good day.
Who's that guy we're talking about?
I don't know who that
Anybody
is.
we know?
Same guy.
What do you know from
who
Funny?
never did BI? I think it's.
Oh yeah, somebody wanted to ask about BI too, but.
Oh, me?
Yeah, they want to ask you about BI. What? What is that? What does it mean? But anyway, you don't have to answer.
I did every BI talk because my partner didn't want to go to training. I'm sorry. My partner didn't want to do BI, and I didn't want to go to training. So I said, I'll do all the BI days. You can go to fucking training. So
There you
yeah.
go.
Well,
Mike,
hey,
best nozzle job in 283 you ever had?
Best nozzle job in 283 I've had. Just back from the rotation. We were side by side with 234 at Kings County Hospital. Jack was just Splain was working 234. Like, hey, what's up, man? We're back. It's great. Blah, blah, blah. Phone alarm around, down the block. It was their first 2 blocks. They were facing the wrong way. Too bad for them. So it's blowing out the Bilko doors. Gary Benedict's the boss again, so I know there's gonna be trouble. So I get 2.5. I go to the curb. He goes up. Gary goes up to the Bilko doors, and the truck was there already. So they start breaking the windows, and now it hits him in the head, like he goes back to the curb. I was like, that was amateur. I'm like, bro, you don't need to win.
That was amateur.
Like, fuck. So 2.5. I'm not a big dude, so I knock it down. I shoot to the bottom of the stairs, and now the fire's to the left. But I can't bend it. The backup guy's not right behind me just yet. So now he gets down, he pushes off the stairs. Now he's pushing me straight ahead. And I'm trying to bend this fucking thing. And they just keep yelling. I'm like, just back up, back up. I am backing you up. Like, back up. So I fucking turn around and just bobsled him back to the stairs. I'm like, it's over there. So he does the fucking bend. So yeah, that was a lot of fire, and it was really over very quickly. But it was a lot of fun because like I'm yelling back. This guy was a senior guy. Like, I am fucking backing you up. Like, I'm like a fist fight in the basement. Over there, bro. 2.5 are suckers, man. That thing sucks.
Screw the 2.5.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was a lot of fun. And we just got back, so you're all fired up, right? I didn't fall down the stairs. It's a huge plus.
You didn't fall down the stairs. That's always a plus.
I slid down on my ass like you're supposed to.
Yeah. What are the pictures we got in there, guys? Let's go through some of the pictures.
We have a couple. Let me go back to the beginning here that we didn't hit. We have actually. Let's bring this one in.
There's my boy, high school friend, Pat Tanzi. Again, Patty's a really smart guy. High school, he was on the football team. I think he got hit in the head a lot as a tight end because he just had a way of talking. But man, so that's from St. Patrick's Day. That's got to be 2000. I can see that 2000, maybe 99, whatever. But yeah, out in the bars, having a good time. He ended up being in 123. He's lieutenant captain. Retired as a chief. He's a nurse anesthetist who works. I think he works at Sloan still. I'm not sure. Real good guy, man. He buys a house after the plane crash in Rockaway. He's from Rockaway, so he calls a bunch of guys from 234 to come fix it. I come down, and I pull up to the house. And he said on the phone, slightly damaged. I look at the house. It's right by the bar. I forgot the name of the bar, but it's right there, right behind it.
It's one charred wall left.
The Harbor Light. I look at this house. I go, Pat, come here a second. I says, I need to get your full definition of slightly. I said, this thing's like fuel fell on it. It's destroyed. So I was like, he's like, no, bro, look at that house. I'm like, all right, that's destroyed. This is pretty fucking close, dude. So all his guys, we had this house in 2 30-yard dumpsters in 3 hours. Wow. Like, what do you want now? Not the whole house, but yeah. Built a nice house down there, and it's beautiful. He grew up 2 blocks away. I spent more time in his house when we were in high school than I spent at my own house in Marine Park. Yeah,
I know the feeling.
Fantastic guy, man. With his parents, sweet. I mean, it's great people. Oh my God, his father was a superintendent for sanitation.
Oh, nice.
What do you got, Johns?
We have that one, and this is another new
a bunch of Irishmen.
So on the left, that's Gary Benedict, the basement.
Oh, that's him. I know him. I know.
Yeah, he had brown. He had brown hair when I met him. I ruined him. That's his son Pete next to him, and then it's me, and that's Harris, and then there's Joe Benedict and some other Port Authority cop. But I think that's Pete's first St. Patrick's Day as a fireman on Staten Island, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong about that, but always went to Gary's house. He had his wife made this Irish soda bread, and we went down to Forest Avenue, and we walked as far as we got to the right bar. Nobody ever walks the whole parade. Too far.
Nice.
But, yeah, good time. There's Yankee Stadium. I told you the story before where I had a week left to go. But yeah, we played for the championship with Yankees. We played 2 years in a row there.
Nice. What position you play, Mike?
Third base.
Third.
Hot corner.
Hot corner.
Man, that shit.
We had to play in the outfield that year because that was '95 when Mattingly's first playoffs.
Yeah.
But while we were playing, Tommy McDonald was in the stands. He worked out something with the ticket people. He got me and him 2 tickets on the third base side for the home playoff game. When Mattingly hit the home run, I thought the place was going to fall down. It was great.
What year was this?
95.
Oh,
That was 95.
If you're a Munson fan, you got to be a Greg Nettles fan, being a third baseman, bro.
Oh, you can name all of them except Reggie Jackson. I never liked Reggie, but he did a good job.
Nice. All right, so we have this
That's
one.
Gary. Yeah, that's family day when Pete was graduating. Yeah, we dressed Pete up in a chicken. Like we always dress somebody up in a chicken outfit to get rescued or whatever. So we dressed because Pete's my lieutenant's son. I made Pete wear the chicken outfit or the duck outfit.
Nice.
Yeah. He loved it. Gary loved it. Gary's great. I spoke to Gary the other day. He's a big golfer, Gary. Big golfer. Now he's got grandkids. He's great. He wishes he had his brown hair back, but I can't help you. I mean, he lost that a year after he met me. It happened.
All right, I got 2 more for you. We have this one, which I think we touched on a little bit, right? This is your training days, right?
We taught at Proby School. We would go out and we'd go over the day's lessons afterwards out by the water. And as you can see, we were studying hard. It was probably 25 degrees in that picture. It was ridiculous. Like
who's that on the right?
Huh?
Who's that on the right?
That's Pete Culkin on the right.
Yeah, I came on with him. I knew.
I grew up with Pete. That's Jimmy Brennan, right? Big tall Jimmy. And then right up here in the foreground, right closest to the barrel on the left, the shorter guy, that's Wally Blum from 174.
Oh, I know him. He was at the Rock for a while, man.
Yeah, if you see the Rock now, as opposed to Kevin when we went through and certain other guys, that's
all Wally did that.
That's
man.
Wally and his boys. Yeah,
I've been trying to get him on the show for a while, Wally.
You can get Willie on a phone. Forget about it. He's busy, man. I see him occasionally here and there, but he's always busy, and he always has the right ideas and the right. It's always a positive thing with him.
Yeah.
He's a worker, man. He's never going to stop.
All right, and I think this might be the last one we have here: the ski trip.
The ski races. That's me, Jimmy Lang, and his cousin Kenny Danielson, who's actually achieving a 2-3 right now in the middle guy. We were up there. We weren't bad skiers, but like those races, like these guys thought it was on a level. So we just decided to go to the wine shack and do what we do best. Just drink.
Yeah.
You guys want to go first? Absolutely. Let's get the fuck out of here. Down we go, and that's it.
Nice. I think I have this one too. This is your 283 one. I don't think I showed this one. Yeah.
So that's
definitely the last one.
Right. That's 283. After 9/11, unfortunately, obviously they had a lot of funerals to deal with, and our old captain Charlie Williams was a chief in the 9th Battalion. So we would go up there and do the tours while they were at the funerals during the day. And I think I did 8 tours up there, and it was a lot. I mean, obviously it's fresh, you know what I mean, and people stopping by every day. And they're looking for the guys that work there, and we're not the guys that work there. But it was an experience.
Who's that?
I didn't
Wayne
like
Pyatt?
I felt that a lot.
That's Wayne Pyatt.
Yeah, right there, right between myself and John Flynn. Yeah, that's Wayne. His son just got on job. His son got a son at 283, actually.
Is that right?
Yeah, he put it in the group chat. We were very happy for him. I said, all he needs is a hat, a carton of cigarettes, and be like his father.
Nice.
Hey, Mike, what was your experience working with Gleason at Club Nelson?
Matty Gleason. His middle name's O'Neill. I like that. Matty was good. I had Matty, Matty's a little bit of an eccentric guy, kind of a free spirit dude. But listen, I got a special place. Like he would do silly things, and guys would, I have a special place for silly things because I don't like to kick guys when they're down. Like you try to. My job's to help you out. But he was in the engine, so he really wasn't under my auspices, so to speak. The engine took care of him. We I try to defend him a little bit. I'll tell you this, like anything else, man, he's never hurt anybody. You know what I mean?
Right.
His own thing. Go to a fire, Matty knew his job. The only problem with Matty was when he cooked every fucking pot in the kitchen. He thought
it's a sign of a good chef, though, isn't it? A good chef that dirties everything.
Oh, well, he was okay, but it was too much. It's all these elaborate what was it, saffron he bought one time? Like, what the fuck is this, bro? I'm eating this. Saffron. It's expensive, dude.
$7 added to the meal for that.
And he's like, pots. I said, man, I don't give a fuck how many pots. I'm not washing them, but it's enough already. The poor guys, they're trying to eat. Probably has to get up now because somebody fucking finished eating. Give me a break. No, he's just
Did you cook it all in the firehouse, Mike?
I did. Yeah, I like cooking. I actually did a few things. one of the things I miss the most. Yeah, not every night, but like if they were like stuck, I'm like, I'll make this. Like, you got your 5 or 6 staples.
I was gonna say, what's in your wheel? What's your best meal in your wheel there, bro?
Chicken palm.
What you say, chicken palm?
Chicken palm.
Get out of here.
Not with the name
Gotta
O'Neill,
be
bro.
meatloaf.
Oh, sorry.
Oh no, Savino and Sono, you 2 boys, right? Lasagna. I can make it nice. If I'm working up and down, I make a nice lasagna. Rocco Rinaldi, Craig Silvino, and Bobby Sono. Oh, Irish guys making lasagna? And all 3 of them, they didn't say it was better than grandma's. Not get crazy. But they go, I'll tell you what, bro, it's pretty good. But you can only make
bad for an Irishman.
No, my father showed me how to make it. So my father was a good cook in the firehouse. Then I made the mistake when I retired because like I was working at SIU, so I was working 5 days a week, working till 9 o'clock. So my wife was cooking every day. I said, I miss cooking. Don't ever say that out loud in front of you.
Oh yeah.
Now I'm up there like Chef Boyardee. Like what the fuck? Like,
Chef Boyardee.
Oh,
actually,
I don't know. You want steak? What the fuck you want? I'll do it.
Do you do
All right, Mike,
anything
here's
else?
another one. If you
Go
could
ahead.
change anything in your career, if you could go back and change anything, what would you do?
If I could change anything, I might have studied. Like I never really wanted to be a boss.
Yeah.
It's not that I'm stupid. That's besides the point. It's just I studied. I was studying for the test that was going to be in October of 2001. Like me and Jimmy Lang was studying all day. The wives worked, so we would study hard till like 2 o'clock separately. But at 2 o'clock we go to the bar with the girls go at the train or the bus or whatever. Play poker, whatever the fuck. But I think I legit would have passed that test. But I tell you the truth, now that I said it out loud, since then, I mean, everything happened to me. It worked out for me.
Right.
I mean, I know guys on here, with their crazy questions, but I'm sure whoever's typing them knows me. You can ask me in person. We can have
I was going to ask you the same thing, but a little bit different with Coobs. But if you can go back tomorrow, where you going? Because you got a pretty unique career and dabbled in a couple of different areas. If you're going back tomorrow, where are you going to go? Kind of a thing.
So if I had to go back tomorrow,
yeah,
I'd go back to SIU because I ended up working at the end of SIU because two of the guys there got sent to headquarters, and then one of the other guys got promoted. So it was just me and my partner Dave. And when I first met Dave, when I first got there, like he wasn't officially there yet, but he was there. Dave's a hard charger. Dave's a lot younger than I am, and he was never a cop, but he's one of the best cops I've ever worked with. He just has it, and he doesn't stop. And when you first get out, you're like, all right, bro, how far are we going with this? He was able to push me past points I would have pushed myself. So I would go back tomorrow and be with him. I saw him this morning for breakfast. I went in and had him for breakfast.
Nice.
I do miss the chase. I do miss the investigations. I miss working with the guys, the different stuff that happens every day. But after 35 years, I just had enough. I just,
it's time. Yeah, man.
Enough is enough, buddy.
I was actually going to ask you that.
Where you going, bro?
Do you keep in touch with anybody? Like
I do. I keep in touch with as many people as I can. There's group meets and stuff. I don't. Unfortunately, we had Snyder's funeral. That's an unfortunate way to get together. But I did see everybody, and I was happy to see everybody. I mean, I could say at this moment, like, Joe Smith's a jerk off. But the reality is, like, he was a jerk off for a minute. Like, he probably thinks I'm a jerk off. But the reality, I didn't really work with many bad guys over my 35 years. I had people with maybe differences of opinion about things, but like nobody who I said like this guy's a total scumbag. I'm not dealing with him. Everybody, we're all fine, man. We all talk shit. Like say this, say that. That's fine. That's what you do.
Right.
And it's never, it never bothers me. It's never personal. If you don't like me, great, no problem. Don't buy me a beer, and I won't buy you a beer.
And what
Make sure you're behind me when I go down the basement.
Yeah.
What's that?
Just make sure you're behind me when I go down the basement.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't really care how you feel about me. Just make sure I'll be behind you. You behind me. All right. We'll take care of it.
Yeah. But what are you doing with yourself now, Mike? When you're retired? I mean, you just retired recently, right?
Yeah. So we went on. My son graduated college. We went on a cruise. We were 19 people. We had a great time. Just kind of hanging around the house. Like my wife lost her job 19 years ago. She's been home taking care of the kids. So now we're in the pool every day. Just I said, just take it easy for the summer. Give me a couple months, and then there's a couple things we got to do. And we'll do it.
Right.
My daughter's in Jacksonville, so I'm gonna go down there for the Jet game in December. She's not too far from my father, so it'll be like I get a 2-for-1 out of that.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, just little things here and there. Of course, we'll plan a big trip somewhere. I think she wants to go to Atlantic City next week. It's my birthday next week, just for the night. She likes to gamble. I don't, so she'll gamble. I'll drink the free drinks. We'll be all set.
How old are
Perfect
you?
combination.
How old am I? I'll be 56 Sunday.
Oh, that's our age. Same age.
Yeah. Listen, again, I got lucky. I was done when I was 20, so.
Yeah. There you go, guys.
It's coming. But Loop just passed. Somebody's birthday.
Let me ask you a
passed.
question. Do you have the dream that most retired guys have, that they get a run and they can't find their gear?
Yeah.
No, because I wasn't in the firehouse when I retired. I had the dream.
Right.
He's looking for the gun. He's like, "Where's my gun?
Where's my gun? I can't find my gun."
Yeah, I'm on a video campus and me and Dave can't find a Dunkin' Donuts fast enough. That's the guy. America
Boston cream. What?
Chocolate latte.
No, like Dave runs on Dunkin', man. He knows he can find a Dunkin' in the middle of the desert if he had to. He's unbelievable. Yeah, that's the dream I have. Like we were a lot of video guys, like, oh fuck, no Dunkin's again. Fuck. Man. He's relentless. He does not. You do not want Dave. You don't want anybody that you're looking for you, man. The guys who were there before, just you don't want that happening. But the marshals is a good thing. I know there's a bunch of guys going in soon. They're asking questions and stuff. And people, you said we don't know marshals on this. You have to have the mindset of like, first of all, you're going to be in school for 6 months. All right. Once you get past that, it's fine. You learn a lot of stuff. It's totally different than what you do now. Like you're in the firehouse a couple of days. Whatever. And guys are working a lot now because of overtime, but it's totally different. Like firemen don't carry pens. Firemen don't really like. Fireman walks into the office and goes to the boss and goes, "Yo, bro, I can't do that roster on Wednesday," and walks out. Like and the boss will figure it out with a pen or whatever. Like that's over. Like you're on the computer. You have to make up reports. You have to talk to people. See, firemen don't talk to people. No. You show up, the house is on fire, everybody's out. You wreck it, and you leave. And now we come, and now here's the pictures, here's this, and they're crying. It's terrible. Like, I feel horrible for these people. This is when no one dies. When someone dies. Horrible. But that's the
you actually have to walk upright and talk like a human being, and not like a Cro-Magnon man.
You have to be able to speak to people. Again, I'm just dealing with the innocuous regular. It's an accident fire,
Right.
Yeah, it's you have to. But listen, the top of the list is the top of the list. These guys want to be on the top of the list. They want to go do it, and they'll be good at it. The people who teach there are good. You do get a lot of information. The outside agencies are fantastic. You do go on some field trips; those are nice. And it's just a lot to absorb, especially if you really like the firehouse. And you're like, oh, this man, I'm going back. But no, it's good. And you do interview the chief. The chiefs, both chiefs will interview you before you go, and they'll tell you, no one lies to you. This is what you're in for, bro. Just let me know now. But everybody, I want the gun. I got a gun. Great. Oh, good for you.
Are there any guys like in the fire department they have legendary guys like this guy was a legendary firefighter? Do they have that in the marshals, like legendary marshals? Like,
so I don't know too many like older retired marshals, but I can tell you this. There's I don't know 110 marshals or whatever. There are some very good marshals, and they're very good guys, and they're very low key. Like no one really, they just do their job and they do it well. But as far as like old timers and stuff like that, I've heard names, but I don't know them. Like I don't know.
Right.
Like Tom Kane was the chief fire marshal. Like I said, he was a fireman in '77. He was, by all accounts, an excellent marshal, and of course went to be chief fire marshal. So they like that.
Well, but the cops used to do it before we got the marshals, right? They used to handle fire investigation.
No, the fire marshals have handled fire investigations since the '70s, and they became police officers. It's a whole big thing. Like they explained it to you in school, but I'm not gonna lie to you. I probably was asleep that day. That was like the history of the marshals thing. But I remember being a cop, and marshals come into the precinct with like an arrest, and because my dad was a fireman, like you could spot them because they had to wear suits. And this is early '90s, and
right?
An Irish fireman suit in the early '90s, bro. Come on, man. You're like one step above the Lucky Charms guy. Like it's like the plaid code, corduroys, the boat shoes, the guns hanging out the front with the strap off. I would literally, if I saw them, I'd be like, "You guys fire marshals? Yeah, all right, come back here, bring him, take care of this." And I would do everything.
Fire marshals.
He did it with fire marshals. Chief Leonard was a fire marshal at some point. He was a red cap. Like, he explained the whole thing one day to me. I'm like, "Oh, that's nice."
Oh, the red caps.
Yeah, I mean, he was proud of it. I'm proud of it. I'm proud of almost everything I did that we talked about. Some stuff we didn't bring up.
Yeah, you can't bring that up.
But, the best part of the whole of both jobs and what we do is the amount of people you get to meet, the great people, and interactions with people. You remember all the good guys. You don't remember the idiots because there's so few and far between. And again, not everybody's gonna like you or the way you are, but they'll respect what you did or how you did it in the firehouse. As a union guy or whatever. I mean, I enjoyed helping people. I just wish I didn't have to. And
well, they only call the union when they need help, right? So I mean, you're the guy.
Yeah, people would call like just because they figured, like, I don't really want to ask this question. So, like, no problem. I'm your guy. I will not tell anybody any of your problems or anything else.
Right.
You know, it's whatever you tell me is between me and you. But when I get a call at 3 a.m. and the first question is, can I work with stitches? I'm like, oh, this is fun. The cops, get out of there. You know, that's the simple response. And then the wife goes, like, well, who is that? Don't even worry about it. You know, she's
I used to get those calls in the office.
I've been woken up
like,
Oh my God.
who is this? Crank call. Call. Hang up.
I told you I got that one time when I was in the union. The guy calls me up at like 11 o'clock at night. Kev, we got a real issue, a real problem. I went down to the quartermaster today. They only gave me one pair of fucking shorts, bro.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's your problem? You calling me at 11 o'clock at night?
That's my other favorite opener on the phone. Like, somebody calls, like, all, like, hyperventilating. Like, yo, we got a problem. I said, first of all, we don't have a problem. You have a problem. Second of all, tell me what happened, and I'll decide if it's a problem. Because Tommy McGough is a retired lieutenant, 217. He's in one of those pictures in Iraq. Tommy McGough's famous line is, you'll never know how to get out of trouble if you've never been in trouble. So you have to know how to, there's certain things you can deal with and certain things, all right, we have to do this. Right. But this program's for everything. Like if you're going to become a marshal and you ask when they group me, like, how long does weed stay in your system? I'm like, oh, God. Bro, I don't know. I don't know anything about weed. They never told us we could or couldn't do it. I don't know.
He got weed.
Yo,
I smoke weed every day. Good for you, buddy.
Smoke weed every day.
Oh, weed every day is great. But it's interesting. You guys didn't touch on 9/11. I can't believe it. It's coming up. You guys didn't bring it up. That's shocking.
Swing away, bro.
No, what do you guys do? All right. So 9/11 morning, right?
Yeah.
I off a championship softball game night before it got rained out. So 9/11 morning, I have two concerns. I got to install security cameras, which I hated doing, but it was all right. And I got to get off Tuesday night because I got to play this game again. This is the concern. So I get on the Verrazano Bridge, and as soon as I get on the bridge, like where you can't see the city, they cut the radio off and tell us what happened. So I see smoke. I'm like, oh, this is bad. So the guy's house I was going to work with is in Bay Ridge. So we just thought, but we didn't know. As we're watching TV, we see it like, fuck. Go to the firehouse. I never shook a hangover so fast as that day. Right? So I called the guy, Jimmy Lang. Wife works in the building. Like, oh my God, she was fine. Get to the city, do what we got to do. We're there for 11 hours, whatever. So now everybody's settling down. Now we know where we're at. I get a phone call at my apartment from John Flynn, the big-headed guy. He goes, listen, one of our guys passed away on the rotation. He was in 35 truck, but there was like 12 or 13 from that house. They wanted us to take care of him. He goes, you're going to be the family liaison. I go, okay. So he's going through this whole big rigmarole. I guess something came down the firehouse, whatever. I said, all right, no problem. Okay. Listen, before you go, I says, I have a question. I says, I live in Staten Island. Vinny lives in Middle Village. All you Long Island guys, none of you could do this? He goes, you're an ex-cop. You'll figure it out. He hung up on me. I'm like, oh, now the cop thing's back in play? This is bullshit. So I ended up being the liaison for Vinny Morello's family. His father, John's a retired chief in the 9th Battalion. He's since passed. Again, great family. Debbie's down in South Carolina. I still keep in touch with him. I usually speak to her sometime around this time of year. I went to the 20th anniversary. She invited my wife and I to Manhattan, stay with all of Vinny's friends. And I thought that was a very rewarding job. I know you guys probably knew liaisons that were doing it. It was new. We all got thrown into it. And he was right. The ex-cop thing helped because I'm pretty organized. And I was able to take care of a lot of things. I remember going to the church by his house. And I had been there already. I charted the whole thing out. Like, these people are going to sit here, roughly. So at the time, there was no ceremonial unit as there is now. But these guys show up. They call me. They go, we need like 2 hours of your time. I'm like, 2 hours? I said, I'll give you like half hour, bro. They show up. I have all these charts. And I hand them to them. And they're like, you want a job? I'm like, I'm never doing another funeral again. I said, this is it. This guy's a friend of mine. Now I know the fit. Like, I'm done. Like, here we go. I ended up being ceremonial for 14 years. Working with Joe. And eventually, I didn't go in right away. Craig Silvino got me into it. And I loved it. Another great experience. That you want to meet people, and of course, you guys get paid for everything. Yeah, okay, whatever. Very rewarding because you make people's horrible day as
right.
possible, best as possible. And that's one fortunate thing I've had on both sides for the most part. Almost exclusively, I have really never worked for a completely bad boss, other than those rookie experiences as a cop. Great bosses everywhere I went. I mean, just nice guys. Very, and even if they were like, oh, this guy's a jerk off. Yeah, okay. You just figure out the quirks. He's not a jerk off. You just don't know the quirks. Like, you can't deal with it. I like the quirky guys. I like characters.
Did you work with McVeigh?
Mike? Yes. Mike is a great character.
Character.
Oh my God, is he a character, bro? Holy shit.
Squared away.
Who, Elvis?
Elvis, yeah.
Oh my God.
I mean, no, Mike's great.
And Poncel, right, Bobby?
Yeah. Bob. Sorry, son Steve. Yeah. Bob's good. Bob's always happy. You know, everything's great.
I worked with him in 117.
Who was the guy that was in? He taught us in Proby school, and then he went to the ceremony in Chiricahua. What the fuck?
Oh, Jimmy Surikak, yes, the bell ringer.
Yeah, the bell ringer. But what was this thing down in Proby school? What did he used to do? Like right or something like that? Like he would yell something out, right?
He did that. That was their attempt at making us like, you know, with the drill instructor thing. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
That was different. Jimmy taught us extrication in Proby school.
Right.
I got to know him through ceremonial pretty. Like he's a genuinely sweetheart of a guy.
Yeah.
He can ring a bell, no doubt about it.
Is he still alive? That guy? Is he still around?
Oh, he's alive. Yeah, he retired.
Is he?
Yeah, Joe LaPointe sees him occasionally, and they you know, I've seen him in a couple of things. I'll see him at the Silla picnic on the 12th or the 13th October, whenever it is. Yeah, he's always around. He's again.
He was in our Proby class, right? Steven Silla.
Yeah. Yep. He was. I forgot what squad he was in, but he was in our group. Yeah.
Now Frank Silla, is that his brother or his father?
That's his brother.
That's what I said. Somebody's telling me it's his father. Like, that's brother.
No, there was a lot of Sillas. There was, Frank's the most prominent, obviously, with the foundation.
Right.
I forgot the other brothers. Oh, Russell. They owned a sporting goods store on Staten Island, Victory Sports. A couple of brothers. Frank owned something else at the time. Steve was always doing something, man. Steve never stopped. Like, he's always on the move. You know what I mean? Always the chomping on a cigar in his mouth. Hey, Johnny. Yeah. That's what Mahaney would always say to us, as a truck captain. Hey, Johnny. You know. So yeah, Steve picked that up pretty quick. It kind of got annoying, to be honest with you. But no, again, another fantastic guy.
You know, we didn't even do our word of the day. That your little
Did
Irish.
I say it? What?
I don't know. What is it, Gonza? Neil gave it to us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. I didn't hear it work, so I was waiting for it.
That's him.
He said it was you.
No, he's full of shit. That might be me.
That's why I tried to slip it in there a couple of times, but nobody picked up on it. I'm like, okay.
I haven't done that
That
yet.
was
from a TV show or something we had watched, and I broke his balls all the time because he had the accent. Yeah.
Yeah, he did have the accent.
Yeah, sure.
He's
a character. That's a character.
Man.
We just had him on a month ago.
Enzo. Him and Enzo.
Yeah, with Enzo.
I remember meeting Enzo years ago with Neil. How did the Vanessa one go? I didn't see it, but
you got to watch it. It's good. Good feedback.
Okay. Yeah, good.
Check it out. Now you're a subscriber. Look at you.
Yeah, no, I can fire it up.
And now you get to come
when you're in you can watch it when you're in the hot tub with the old lady. You know.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Ew.
That'll be
after you're done cooking the meal.
Give him one, guns.
We need a chef for. We need a chef for the boat trip. So if he's
now you're officially invited to the boat trip, Mike. We have a boat trip every year in August.
Where's the boat trip?
It's in Manhattan. We take out the old John J. Harvey boat.
Oh yeah,
fire boat. We cruise around Manhattan, drink our faces off, eat our faces off, and all the guests from the past year get to go on. So now you're officially invited, bro. Boing.
So I'll go upstairs and I'll sell it this way. Like, honey, I just got a free cruise.
A bunch of drunken firemen.
It's a guy only thing. Sorry.
Yeah.
Pick me up in the
sausage fest.
If I make it that far.
Sausage fest.
Nah, it's funny. It's
good stuff.
And it's funny. You guys get like the guy Dave. I saw him this morning. He goes, "Can I call in?" I'm like, "I don't think it's calling, Joe, bro. I prefer if you didn't." But people
can I call in?
Can I call in?
He does. Dave does. No, he knows how to video and arrest bad people. He has no idea about podcasts or how.
Let's phone a friend. We're gonna phone a friend.
Phone a friend. Dave, you gotta help me out here. I'm out of stories. That's not true. That's not true.
No.
But it is that time, guys.
It is at that time.
Did I tell you about this time yet? About the old school tip of the day?
We told
you.
I think
I
did briefly. Yeah.
You want a fire tip or a marshal tip?
It's time for. Let's get it in there. The old school tip of the day.
of the day. Oh, we got to do the other two commercials too.
Yes, we do. So, Mike, you can do whichever one you feel is best. You want to do a little dabble of a couple, but whatever you feel that the troops out there can benefit from.
So, if you are sitting in a firehouse right now with some senior guy trying to tell you something and you don't care for what's being said, you should probably just listen and understand, because you get a lot of that now with the generations, like they're big on the, well, we should do this. Like, bro, listen to me. This is how we do things. Adapt to it and figure it out. But not everybody's always right. Like I said, nobody's above being educated. So for you older guys who think you can tell the young kids what to do, and how many times you hear this in the firehouse, all you guys, the college kids, this new generation, they're no different than any other generation. You just have to figure out how to work with them. If you have kids at home, you'll know how to work with them. But you got to both sides got to listen to each other. Otherwise, you have problems. Then you get the young guys that, we're going to overthrow these guys. The junior revolution, or what, juniority, that's another good one.
Juniority.
The millennials?
Yeah, the millennials are all right. But, it's just a matter of, listening to both sides. And don't get the bosses involved, whatever you do. Tommy McGough, another great one. First floor problems and second floor problems. Make them first floor problems. Don't cause problems. Just both sides listen to each other. Firehouse would be much better. 82 truck seems to be a good place where they listen to each other. I get good young guy feedback when I see them. I get good older guy feedback when I see them. Everybody's happy with each other. They're playing sports. They're going to paintball. Everything that could possibly get them hurt off duty, they're trying to do. So that's a good thing.
Just make sure you tell them you can't work with stitches.
Bro. I have 10 of those stories. It's like not so-and-so broke his leg. What are we going to do now? I'm like, oh, God. Where are you? Oh,
Crank call. Crank call.
We're in front of the firehouse. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. Like, bad idea, boys.
Is this a department phone?
Yeah. No, I'm calling you on the outside phone.
No. Forget outside phone. Forget department phone. All these things that are taped. Oh, everybody out there who has a problem and wants to talk to the delegate, I told my guys this all the time, and people don't listen. Having been in the law enforcement world again for 4 years, don't text your problems to anybody. Trust me.
I like
That's a good tip of the day, bro.
Or the Gomada.
Well, that's a whole different. So honestly, don't text anybody anything. If you want to know something about something,
the Gomada.
Nobody can ever tell you what you said on the phone unless your phone's being tapped. And if your phone's being tapped, you got a lot more problems than texting people. That's why working for the mayor at this point.
Oh, singer!
Oh, here we go. You heard it here first.
I
heard that was kind of
like
all right, but we got to play 2 commercials quick, guys. We forgot.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me go get the old. Let me get the health and safety tip.
I'm going to do New Jersey Fire, so you got a second.
All right, good.
Established in 1930 and under the current ownership since 1987, the New Jersey Fire Equipment Company handles a complete line of fire department equipment and supplies. Headquartered in Greenbrook, the company operates full 3M Scott service facilities in Ridgefield Park and Toms River, staffed by 10 fully authorized Scott certified technicians with a fleet of 6 fully equipped service vans. All New Jersey fire technicians and sales representatives are active or retired firefighters, officers or chief officers, career and volunteer. They understand the business and the importance of their work. New Jersey Fire has represented Scott since Earl Scott entered the SCBA business at the end of World War II. Among other leading manufacturers represented by New Jersey Fire are Globe and Firedex Turnout Gear, Mercedes Hose, Task Force Tips and Akron Brass, Hygenol, Firehooks, Arctic Compressors, MSA Carnes Helmets, ChemGuard Foam, Alkalite and Duo Safety Ladders, BA Face Shield Protectors, Truckman's Choice Saws, Grove's Gear Racks and Washer Dryers, Supervac Fans, RPI, Streamlight, and many others. A New Jersey incorporated and based company, sales and service are limited to the state of New Jersey. Find us now at www.njfe.com. That's www.njfe.com.
And one more we got.
Here we go.
The First Responders Center for Excellence is a not-for-profit organization dedicated to protecting the lives and livelihoods of first responders. Their education and research initiatives aim to bring greater awareness and understanding to the challenges to the health, safety, and well-being of firefighters, EMS personnel, and other first responders, too. They are an affiliate of the National Fallen Firefighter Foundation.
All right, this is a bit of a long one. Did you know that incorporating behavioral health screenings into annual medical evaluations is now recommended under the 2022 NFPA 1582 medical evaluations is now recommended standard on comprehensive occupational medical program for fire departments. To help you effectively implement these screenings, the FRCE formed a group of experts to offer exclusive guidance for fire departments. Find our complete report at firstresponderscenter.org, and let's make a profound impact on the lives of firefighters. Get your noodle checked out. Get you checked out from
Yes,
check up from the neck up. You know what I'm saying, bro? Gons?
Yep, they just sent me mine. I have to do mine. I do last 3 years now. They do a mental screening on us.
They do.
Same thing as
fine.
So.
I'll tell you that. What's up?
Thanks for coming on, bro.
Yeah.
No, thanks for having me, Kevin.
Standing on stories here, man. What is that on the back there? Is that you and it says O'Neill? What is that?
Where? Oh, my kids got me that a couple years ago.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's not bad.
That's a scary helmet back there, too. The 283s give me a little willies there, man. It's very scary.
Yeah, I borrowed Calhoun's. Put it in the background. You know, I threw it down the stairs to the smokehouse. 1,000 stories, yeah. The Marshal was
excellent.
Like, we never wear our helmets.
No. All right, good. We had a lot of guys in the chat tonight. New guys that we've never seen before. Probably a lot of Marshals. So make sure you hit the like and subscribe, right, Gons?
Yes, for sure. I snuck that up in there before for those guys. Hit it up. I was in there.
Yeah, we got a couple of good shows coming up. We got a Wallbaum's Fire show with Jay Jonas, and two of the guys that passed away at that fire, their kids wound up marrying each other. It's a great story. Wow. Yeah. So we got that coming up. I don't know what date that is. We got a couple of hard charges, right, Roof?
26, I think that's coming
up.
I'm going to take a look for you right now.
I believe it's
Wallbaum's Fire is the 26th of this month, yes.
Right. We got a couple of hard charges coming up.
I don't think we're going to be on next week, right? The 12th?
Next week, I will be down in Wildwood at the Wildwood Fire Show. I'll be down there with the wife and kids. I'll see Pee-wee down there and all the other guys.
You'll be there for the 11th, correct?
I'll be at the firehouse for the 11th. I know. Let's see. I'll be there. Everybody's going to be there. Raise your hand. Oh, sorry, guys. Love you guys. I'm only kidding.
I can't find it quick enough. You dick.
I'll play it. Hold on a minute.
I couldn't find it.
How about this one?
Yes, dickhead.
Oh, that one's even better.
Okay.
All right. Mike, great stories, great career.
Enjoyed
being in Proby school with you. Who would have thought 35 years later we would have hooked up? It's amazing.
I appreciate it. It's a lot of fun.
And you still have all your hair, and I don't. Well, there's a kick in the ass, ain't it? There's a kick in the ass.
In real life, it's great, too. And I blame Gary for that.
Excellent. All right, we'll see you guys. I'll see you during the week for a cup of Joe and Fuego. And then we'll see you next Thursday. Until then, guys, stay low and go.
All right, everybody. We'll see you at the big one. Thank you again, Mike.
All right, guys. Have a good night, everyone.
Yep.